only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer! Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters, where we're going to bring you the news and reviews of your favorite brews. I am Dan Baker, and I am joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and of course the demented and fermented
Wayne Baker.
This episode I've been waiting a long time for. We are at an event. It's an amazing event. We have been here every year, but this is the first time we are recording here. We are at the Ephrata Brewfest. It's at Whipple
Stop.
It's at Whistle Stop Plaza in
I like
Ephrata. Whipple Stop Plaza. That's where it'll be next year. Here in Ephrata, Pennsylvania, downtown. Beautiful day out for it. It's absolutely incredible. And it's the same spot it's been for the past couple of years. We have great friends that are here. Sold out event. That's going to be interesting to see all these people.
This is the
through
first
here.
time it's sold out before the day of, right?
So the first year, it sold out beforehand, like the week beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
And ever since it got closed, but it didn't. No, we didn't sell out.
Okay.
And this year it sold out way early.
That's awesome.
4 weeks
Super
early.
early.
Congrats on that. To longtime listeners who may have a keen ear, you recognize the voice. We've had him on the show before to promote the event. But this is Patrick, who's the organizer of the event. Patrick, thanks for having us out here, man.
Yes, and just to clarify, I'm one of
The organizers.
But
Yeah,
one
there's
of-
a great crew of people
Yeah,
that put this
yeah.
together.
We have an awesome team, and we have several that have been here since the inaugural first year, and then we have several that have come on as the years have progressed.
Cool.
So we've got tenured staff and then a newer, helpful staff, too.
Very
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, thank you for having us out here. This is going to be an awesome day. I'm really looking forward to
The
it.
weather is so great today.
Yeah.
This couldn't be any better. This is only how many podcasts have we done outside? Not many. We've done a few. We did one at South County. We did one at Brewery at Hershey.
The Hop Farm.
The Hop Farm. I like doing outside podcasts. We need to do this more often.
Yeah, especially a day like this.
Yeah.
It is literally, I think people that didn't get tickets are going to be really upset they didn't get tickets because this is the perfect day for a beer
Yeah.
fest, weather-wise.
I've been getting hit up quite a bit for tickets. Do you have any more available? Can I get some? And I'm just like, I'm sorry.
You missed your chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to get them early now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the number we heard floated around was about 700 attending today.
So just over 600 that
Okay.
are actually sold, and then we also had about 30 that were DDs, and then we have a number that come from people who are actually here for, like you guys, and for the brewers, and for sponsors who end up getting tickets too. So we're a little over 700 today in this space, but I think it should be very easy. It's always manageable and shouldn't be any lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there's even more alcohol available. It seems like that seems to be a trend
Yes.
every year. There's more and more people pouring.
Yes, and we have some ideas for next year. If the space is the same, we have some maneuvering we're going to do to fit even more. So,
Or I was hearing rumors of a possible expansion in a different part of town, perhaps.
it could be, yeah. We are discussing that too, but I think we still have some room here to grow.
Yeah,
and we had
for
two
sure.
brewers just this past week say, "Is there still time to get in?"
Wow, that's
Oh,
great.
cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we're pretty excited.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. This is a really cool spot, the Whistle Stop Plaza, for any kind of event.
Whipple Stop.
Yes.
Yeah,
particularly for
Whipple.
this. Yeah. If you guys,
Whipple ball.
I will say out there,
It's
if you're
between the
listening,
Caboose and Main Street.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you want to see what the place looks like. We have posted like photo galleries, I think every year.
Yeah, we've been here
since
every
the
year.
beginning
Yep.
on our website.
Yeah.
So that's always really cool. So take a look at that, and you can see how gorgeous the space is. And the weather's been pretty nice, pretty consistently
Every
almost
year.
Every year.
Yeah.
Last year was close.
Yeah.
It rained beforehand, and then it stopped raining, and
Yep.
we held off just in time.
We brought
for us.
ponchos. That's why it stopped.
That's right.
Yeah,
I remember that.
that's right. I remember you guys
Yeah.
did. You were like, "We're going to sell ponchos," and it's like, we don't need it.
Yeah, we sold 0.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. No, we've lucked out, and I think this year the weather's going to be awesome. I think that's the other piece. People saw what the weather was going to be for the forecast, and so leading up to it, everyone was trying to scramble to get tickets
Right.
because it's a nice day.
Yeah.
I mean, what better day than, like, I don't know, mid-70s, sunny.
Yeah.
That's perfect drinking weather.
Yeah, definitely is. Now, how many years is this? Is this 4?
Four.
4. Okay.
Yep, you guys got
I
it?
wrote it on
Yep.
the tablecloth.
Oh, did you? I
We're
didn't
starting
even see
a
that.
new
Yeah.
tablecloth today,
Oh, yeah,
guys.
this is a big
I
deal.
think this is our... Is this our 4th or 5th? I was going to say.
It's 4 or 5. I'm
It's
not
either
sure.
our 4th or 5th tablecloth. So we thought this would be a great event to start a brand new tablecloth. So I already wrote on it.
Nice. And that's going to get lost in a bunch of other signatures and
That's
drawings
okay.
and things eventually.
That's
but
all right. Well,
That's
and this
fantastic.
year there's 3 food vendors.
Yes.
That's up from previous years.
Oh, there's 3.
Yeah,
We
we
got
got 3.
the chicken.
Chicken Place,
Chicken
Barbecue
Guy,
Place,
so formerly
and Annie
Bountiful
Ann's.
Feast, yep, and Annie Ann's is
Oh,
new,
Annie
and
Ann's, that's
22
right.
Barbecue. Yeah, so
Yeah, I was eyeing up all of them, to be honest.
And there's lemonade and iced tea on tap.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get an
Super,
Arnold
super
Palmer
awesome.
from the DD tent.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I love it. I
Yep,
love it.
and we got bottled water. So all in all, I think we're a pretty good situation for anybody
We're ready
who's
to
not
be
drinking,
hydrated.
or if they do want to drink.
Yeah, I'll need a break from beer at some point today, so I'm glad we're right next to it.
And who's the band that's warming up right now?
So I am not in charge of the entertainment. So let's go to our guide.
Hey,
Oh, good, it's in there.
it's all about knowing your
He's got
resources.
notes.
Yeah, let's see here.
Lowercase Blues.
Yeah, Lowercase Blues, which
Look at
actually has some other stints around Ephrata too. So you may see them.
Cool.
The library puts on some events, music down at the at the park and stuff. So they will do a great job, and yeah, we should have a great time today.
Yeah.
The music so far this morning was actually good. The sound system people were playing some decent stuff.
Yeah,
yeah,
I heard a little bit of
It
Rage
was-
and some other things.
Yeah, I heard a couple promos throughout. It was some channel on Sirius XM, so I got to figure out what channel it was so I can add it to my.
It's actually funny because
It could have been Lithium.
yeah, well, Dan and I always listen to Lithium in his
I'm a
car
Lithium
when
guy.
we're
Yeah.
driving to podcast recordings, and that's what we were listening to. And we got here, we're like, I think this might be the same station.
It's either Lithium. I mean, it's not Alt Nation. I'm a big fan of that
well,
one,
it
too.
had to be another one because they were playing Bare Naked Ladies and Maroon 5, and
Yeah.
Lithium wouldn't play those. But
That's
I
fair.
liked the
True.
mix that there was.
Yeah.
it was a good outdoor fest station.
Also, I think Dan bought Nickelback vinyl earlier online.
No,
I
I'm
think that
trying
was
to buy a
happening.
Thrice vinyl, but I can't remember my password for the damn site. They haven't emailed me my reset option yet.
Why are we talking about this?
Stupid
Why
vinyl.
are we talking about this?
Hashtag tangents.
Being a
Hashtag-
hipster sucks
already,
sometimes.
we're only doing the intro, guys, and we are already tangenting.
Yeah, this is
Tangent.
true.
Son of a.
Yeah, right. So, do you guys have a date set for next year?
Yeah, we do.
Ooh.
We already have it.
Drum roll.
So it's going to be. I think it's on the 20th next year. It should be in the brochure itself. But yeah, we have that already scheduled for next year.
That
so,
makes sense because next year's a leap year.
2020.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
2020.
We had to move it up a weekend. Typically, I think it's like the third weekend, but Saturday, June 20th. If we moved it to the typical Saturday, it would have been right part of 4th of July, and
yeah.
we were worried about that. So,
Right.
June 20th, mark it down for 2020, and 2020.
Nice. And then if
2020.
anybody
there
out there,
there it is.
there you
Yeah,
go.
it's in
June
there.
2020.
I helped proofread.
I'm gonna
I was one of
post.
the
I'm gonna take a
proofreaders.
picture of this and post it right
There
at
you
the
go.
end today.
Yeah, do
This
it.
could be the first official ad for next year. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it is.
Yes.
first
I mean,
official
by the
ad.
time you guys put this out, it will probably be the first.
Oh, but even if
official.
she posts it now,
I'm
Yeah.
gonna post it after.
If
at
she
the end
posts
of
it
the
right
fest
now,
today.
then yes, she is beating
Definitely.
us to. Yeah. Because no one's in here yet. So
That's
this
true.
is true. This one
Oh,
hasn't even
that's
started
true.
yet. But yeah, so if anybody out there who couldn't make it this year, obviously you can listen to this episode and see what you missed. But follow you guys on. I know Facebook. You have the Ephrata Brewfest
Facebook,
page is
yep.
usually like a really good place.
We
to
have
get your
Facebook.
updates.
We also have a website for it. So EphrataBrewfest.com. And I would really recommend check it out and get your tickets early next year.
Yeah.
Because I am pushing for more ticket sales, like more people, because I think this space can handle it. We'll see. We want to have it so that there aren't long lines. That's the whole idea. You can go up, you can walk up, and I mean, as you guys know, why you're here today. We also like this because there are brewers and owners
Right.
that come to this, and that's the awesome thing is that there aren't lines, so you can actually go and talk to them.
Yeah. Those are always the best beer fests where it's not just like some random,
It is.
maybe even somebody
And-
who's not even associated
and
with
that's
the brewery.
nothing
Yeah.
against the reps that are out there,
Yeah.
for sure. Because you guys, you work super duper hard, but it's cool to have the owners come out because it's like they poured everything into their business, and here they are sharing that with you.
Yeah, and they can talk about the beer knowledgeably.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like you're just talking to someone who says, "Oh, well, this is an IPA at 5.5%."
Yeah, and you're not like reading it off a sheet
Yeah,
and say
reading-
like,
you're just like, "Great."
yeah,
thanks."
especially if it's the brewer, they can tell you when the hops went in, how many.
Yeah. Yep, and a little bit of story about how they got the name for
Right,
it, which
right.
is always fun too.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did see that there's some Nimble Giant here.
Yes,
I don't know if you
I
guys got
spotted
this
that.
year's batch yet, but
I haven't.
It is fantastic.
Nice, nice.
Have
Wow.
you had the new dry hop pills they just released last week?
I did not.
Oh,
is
it's
it
so
good?
It's so good. It's so good. That and 225 from St. Boniface are my current 2 favorite beers.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, Nibble Giant is one of my. I mean, Not that I don't have a lot of favorites, but when that comes out seasonally, like I'm definitely all over it. So
Nice.
I got back from vacation. I was like, that better be out.
You were ready for it.
Yeah, I had one last night. It was good.
Awesome.
Not only is it out, it is at your fest.
Woohoo!
Not only is the beer out, but it's at your fest.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely. So I will be having
It's
some.
it's
today,
very
too.
serendipitous that it wound up that way.
Yeah, they lucked out. Yeah. And I think it's pretty awesome because a lot of people this year, I saw a lot of the taps, and there are a number that have more than just 2 beers.
Yeah.
There are 3s and 4s, which is another nice thing because that gives people who come more options.
Yeah.
And
Let's be
typically
honest, we
they
love
bring
options.
something brand new or something different that's never been tapped before. Like we were just drinking, we were up talking to Ken from Boneshire, and they have Sunburst on, which is a collab,
so good.
super tons of tropical fruit goza that they did with Sarah Bozic. And that beer is freaking
Is it good?
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is so it's
I gotta
perfect
get
for
up
today.
there.
But
It should be like the fest beer.
not
of
a
the
beer
day,
you can
right?
just go out to a bar and get. So it's really cool
Yeah.
that people
Yeah.
bring super unique and cool beers here.
Very awesome.
Yeah, very much. Well,
Yeah.
thank you guys for coming out today.
Hey,
Yeah,
no,
for
thank you
sure.
for having us.
We're
This
super
is
excited.
Yeah, us too. This is one of our favorite events to go to, and with our schedules, we have to pick and choose wisely, and this is always a yes for
Yeah,
us.
and I just need to say thank you guys for all the support for the past 4 years.
Always.
Because honestly, like that year 1, oh my gosh! If it weren't, I got to call you guys out and the guys from Hopheads too. I mean, really, thanks for the support.
Definitely.
We really appreciated it, and continued support too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. We only do the fest that we like.
Yeah, and we're
Thanks.
really glad this is still going strong, and we look forward to keep coming back.
Very much
This is
so.
Because I
awesome.
banged my head on the mic. No, I have not had anything to drink at all.
Not yet.
Well, I think you need to change it. You need to go get some Nimble Giant
Oh, yeah.
to kick off the day.
For sure.
Cool. Patrick, thank you so much, man,
Thank
for
you.
everything.
Have
guys.
fun.
Of course.
Yep.
The doors are opening here at the Ephrata Brewfest. So everybody's coming in. I see necklaces with pretzels on them. At the top of the show, I did not mention, because I knew Patrick had a lot he had to do, where you can follow us to see all the pictures and everything that we have. Instagram, Twitter, at Beerbusters. Facebook, we are Beerbusters Podcast. There's always Beerbusters Podcast.
Whipple Stop Plaza.
There's always beers.
There's always beers at Whipple Stop Plaza.
What
Thank
is
God.
happening?
That's
There's always
awesome.
BeerbustersPodcast.com.
I don't feel bad now because I started drinking early.
I've had one. I've had that
well,
much.
No, I've had
Yeah.
that much, but like a bunch of the much. Yeah. So
Of the month.
and
it's good.
Don't forget patreon.com/beerbusters.
Yes,
little as
definitely
a
check out Patreon.
$1 a month can get you access to things like Last Call
And punishment videos.
and punishment videos.
Won't be
And-
one for this episode, but
but at least we know that there will be for the next episode as
and
well.
we promise to try to not lose any audio and videos from this point forward.
I promise nothing.
I've worked in IT for
Fair.
years. You'd figure I would have this under control, but I don't.
Well, I mean, if we had just turned it off and back on again, it probably would have been fine.
Well, if you're
True.
losing a few, don't lose mine.
Oh, we
no,
won't
no,
use-
not at
Alright,
all. Not at
never.
all. We would never
Never.
dream of it.
Can't
and,
lose the sexiness of the match.
and of course, that means that we have, if you don't know by now, where have you been? The mad chef himself, Francisco. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm great. How about you guys?
Doing
We are good.
fantastic.
How we doing today?
Somehow, whenever we go to events lately and record podcasts, you're like a stone's throw away, and you're always the first person to sit down.
Love it.
It's like a tradition now where you have to kick off the episodes.
I think so too.
Yeah, I
I
like
appreciate
that.
I
it.
agree with that. I think that's good.
Yeah, that's a good way to start. Good way to start. And you guys are 2 tents over.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is a
They're
hell of a
2
setup.
doors down, as
Yeah.
it were.
Yeah, they are
How
two
far
doors
away?
down.
We can supply beer all day long.
Yeah.
I'm okay with
If
that.
needed.
And I think there was
Not
even
that we
talk
do.
that we're going to Mad Chef after
For
the
some
event.
empanadas.
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 Got it right.
I pronounced it correctly.
Yes.
You did.
Empanadas.
Empanadas.
Because I hear there's
Empanadas.
some new delicious vegetarian empanadas available.
They are. So we did switch the menu over for some summer refreshing flavors. And yes, we added a vegetarian empanada to the menu. So they are a Jamaican curry empanadas with sweet potato, cauliflower, and chickpeas. Phenomenal. And then we top them off with a tzatziki. Or a island tzatziki. So it's tzatziki. So it's a yogurt, cucumber, dill, and then we add a secret ingredient of like a pineapple barbecue sauce to it.
Wait,
secret
is that the
ingredient
secret
you just
ingredient?
literally-
Yes, which you just said. See, this is why you can't have a few too many before the show.
Well, you only tell your secrets to us. Your secret's safe
Yes.
with us. And
That's
our
gonna get
And the
listeners.
lovely folks that follow you.
That's going to get
You know?
bleeped out in the final edit.
Oh, do I have to do it again?
You don't need to bleep it out.
It's okay because
It'll make our listeners feel special.
even
Yep.
even if everybody knows the ingredients, nobody can put them together quite like the Mad Chef.
That's
can.
true.
that is
Appreciate
so
that
true.
It won't be
And
the
the
That is
crew.
very true.
and the crew.
Because you
and
know
the
what? I'll be
beautiful
honest
crew.
with you. Those guys do one hell of a job. I
Yeah.
am very proud to be part of working with them every single day. So, yeah.
Very nice.
All
very
right,
nice.
so we're gonna try 2 beers with you and then 2 beers with Sean.
That's awesome.
What should we try first?
Ooh, what should... Oh, you know what? Let's try the OG Goza.
Is that this?
All right.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's a good way to start. How do
think
you think
so.
this pairs with buffalo mac and cheese? Because I just had that.
Probably be perfect.
All right, good.
I would say
Oh.
it would definitely cut some of the fattiness of the cheese and the,
What if I like the fattiness of the cheese?
then you know, you can have a sip and then have more.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes
You
you
know?
want more fat.
Yeah.
That is nice.
No
Classic.
one makes
So it's an old-
gozas like that anymore.
Drinkable.
So it's
yeah.
an old school
Yeah.
Goza. We actually fermented a little bit with yogurt, with a yogurt yeast or yogurt culture, kettle soured, and then we added sea salt and coriander to it. Just kept it old school, but it is absolutely refreshing.
It really is, yeah.
Clean. It's got that little bit of the salties, like, you know, that brininess
Get a
to
hint.
it.
Yeah.
But it just kind of makes you drink a little bit more.
It's not super sharp.
Nope.
It drinks real easy.
Love it.
Yeah.
He said sharp.
Yes.
You know, people always mess with me because my accent, I don't know, because I don't have one. But, you know, apparently I say shark and sharp, and it's the same thing. I'm like,
Exact
same thing.
Well, it's also not very shark.
There you go. Or it's a Sharpie.
Oh, that's delicious.
flicking
Perfect for a
people
day
off?
like today.
Are we flipping people
Yeah,
off?
we're just flipping random people up. So we made.
I used to work with him.
We set up our table here very strategically. We are at the back facing the crowd as they're walking by, and we're making all of our guests have their backs to the crowd, so we can people watch everybody going by, and you can't.
I'm just going with the flow. She's flicking, I'm flicking.
Yeah, that's right.
Francisco knows.
It's
he
it's
knows
pretty good
whose
idea.
side to be on.
If Steph's slipping someone the bird, you should probably
Yeah.
just follow suit.
That's what I'm going
It's
with.
usually a good idea.
Oh my gosh. So what's next?
All right, what's next? Let's try the steeped.
Which one's that?
That is the New England IPA with Earl Grey.
Oh, I was
tea.
excited to try this because there's Earl Grey tea in
That
it.
smells really good.
Half of that equation I'm excited about. The other half, we'll see.
Oh,
And you do taste that. You do taste that Earl Grey
bergamot.
tea on the back end of it. So it kind of starts like a New England. It's got a little bit of bitterness, softness to it, and then you get that tea on the back end.
the tea's like, wait, I'm interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
it
it
really
does.
does. Yeah,
It's like, oh, IPA. Wait, I'm interesting.
It does start off as like that.
And I have to
soft
say, it
IPA
has to
and
be
then-
one of the most unique beers we've done in a while. You know, when so Ben Burton was who kind of came up with the idea, and I was at the beginning. I was like, what? Tea? And you know what? It worked incredible. We're very happy with that beer.
You need to
actually.
do a matcha tea beer now.
a matcha.
I love
Yeah.
matcha.
Go
I'm
matcha.
obsessed right now.
Okay, come match up with me at a mash.
Yes.
You see? See,
Yeah.
that was nice.
You're magic with the words, Francisco.
No.
Magic with the words.
I'm extremely magic right now. I'm being very honest with you.
Yeah.
Too many
apparently.
beers before the fast is not a good thing.
You know, there was a time when I really thought tea and beers was going to become like a super trendy thing. But
No,
I don't
I
think-
agree.
It never really caught on.
No,
No, a few people do them
Yeah,
and do them
they
well.
work really well usually. I haven't had too many that I haven't liked, but this is really nice.
Thank you.
Francisco's like, you don't like IPAs? Hold my beer.
Here you go. Here you go.
Hold my Earl Grey.
Ah.
Was there were there two teas in this?
There
was another one on
there
the
is a
side.
blend. So there it is Earl tea. There is also a blend of so it's lemon, menthol, and orange kind of tea. It's almost like a what you call it, like a immune boost,
right,
kinda
like
thing.
one of those like throat coat,
Yep.
cold sort of.
Yep.
Yeah. It works really well. It's really nice. I'd be really interested to try like a red ale or like an English style with Earl
I
Grey.
can see where you're going with
I
that.
think that would be
yes,
really good.
I think so too.
I'm laying
Earthy kind of notes to it, and
Yeah.
some maltiness to kind of back Yeah,
It'll work
I like
really
that.
well. Yeah. So
I
next
like that.
challenge.
I like that.
As much as I would love to just throw recipe ideas around Francisco during this entire fest, which would be friggin' fun as hell, we probably should let Sean to come over too.
Sounds
yeah,
good.
yeah,
I guess
he,
so, yeah.
He looks left out over
Let's
there.
be expedient.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Francisco.
Thank you
Thanks
guys for having us over.
Yeah,
Of course,
It's a
man.
pleasure.
Anytime.
kicking
Thanks
us
for
off.
being first.
Yeah. Well, second behind
Second.
Patrick, but
Yeah.
What?
Well, the first
the guy
brewer.
who founded the event. Was on
Okay.
first.
All right. You know what? That's what. That's you know what? It's like a first, second.
Yeah.
First,
Yeah.
second.
I
All
like
right,
it.
good
I like
enough.
it a lot.
Second place, first
Yep,
loser.
yeah.
Thanks,
That's how you go.
Francisco.
Thank you
Wow.
guys so much.
What's up, Sean?
Nothing much. How you been?
Mad Chef Part 2 here.
Yes.
We
The
should just-
squeakquel.
why don't we just call this the Mad Chef episode? What do you think? The squeakquel.
Did you get to try those beers earlier?
We tried 2 of the beers,
2 of them.
so we have 2 left.
Did he drink the other 2 before he brought them to you?
No, we drank
No, they made
2 with Francisco, and we have the other 2 with you. We
Great.
have. I think we should do all clear next.
Yes, I was just drinking that. It's delicious.
Tell us about this.
So we do a ton of New Englands. Like we wanted to just kind of go back and like do a clear like West Coast IPA. This one's Mosaic and Equinaut hops. So it's just got like all those like nice like caramel like sweet dry flavors that you get with like a West Coast IPA.
I love that people are brewing West Coast IPAs again.
It's like a trend again.
Yeah,
It's hilarious.
yeah.
Like for a long time, I was
I'm on
like,
board with that.
All these brewers are like, damn it, I'm sick and tired of making
Yep.
New England IPAs. I want to make a West Coast.
I
again.
like that these kind of IPAs are like a throwback now.
Oh,
Yes,
it's delicious.
they are. They're like old school, which is
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's so
Isn't
weird
it
because
though? We've come so far.
like when we started doing this podcast, that was like the cool beers that everybody was drinking. We're
yeah.
like,
yeah, we remember when they started, and now they're coming
Yeah.
back.
The
That's
hops
pretty
too.
cool.
It's like we're making New England's like let's throw some old school hops in there, you know, like that we used to make West Coast with.
Right, yeah. I really like this. What's the ABV on this?
I'm pretty sure it's close to 7%.
I was going to say it tastes like
6.9.
it's pushing up there, but really nice, good old school taste. Nice maltiness too.
Yeah.
That malt backbone nobody talks about anymore.
That malt backbone.
So how have things been since we talked to you? I don't know. Like seems like it was only a couple days ago. We were like,
Yeah, well, it's the hanger
Hopheads.
jam.
Jam.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. No, things have been good. Just crushing at the pub. These guys are gearing up for the expansion and everything, so we're just trying to get beer in order and have inventory where it needs to be to like take in that influx of new customers. So
Right.
yeah,
Keeping up with demand. Now I told Francisco he was here. We had the New England with the Earl Grey tea.
Yep.
And we decided that you guys need to make either a red ale or an English style, like mild, with Earl Grey tea.
okay.
Because I
Yeah,
wanna
and we
try-
just made an Irish red too, but we didn't put any tea in it.
Oh, there you go.
Next time.
But we did just get a keg that you can do like single infusion like beers with, so you can do like a half barrel of something. So we could always pull like some of that Irish red over and like steep it on some tea.
Very cool.
That
Very
was
try
cool.
that
really
out.
cool.
And actually, that brings up a question we didn't ask Francisco about. How was the tea incorporated in that beer?
It was all like post fermentation, and we just basically like boiled some water and basically like steeped the leaves,
Okay.
and then at that point like remove them so they don't get like especially bitter or like astringent, and then added that to the beer
Okay.
as well as the like tea liquid that we made.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Very good.
I love it. That's my favorite thing about Mad Chef. You guys are just embrace all these different flavors and ingredients and meld them together so well.
Yeah.
And we know that comes from Francisco, but I feel like all of you together, like you all embody this idea.
Yeah,
and
try not
do
to
it
cut
so well.
corners and like
Yeah.
use extract or anything. Like if we want flavors, we try to go for like, well, if you want to put mango in a beer, well, let's get some like mangoes and like actually do
Yeah.
it the right way. You know what I mean?
If you want mango, get mangoes.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I like how you guys do ingredients like that. You're the kind of place that does it with like a culinary approach, and
Yeah.
not so much it's just like, oh, there's fried chicken in this beer. Isn't that funny? Like, there's actually a reason.
I
to
have
it.
seen a recipe for a fried chicken beer.
We've had a fried chicken
Yep.
beer on the show.
Fried
It's
chicken.
fantastic. Yeah.
But there was no purpose for that fried chicken beer to be in there.
No.
Just that it
purpose
was in
at
there.
all.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Which is-
Where you guys add ingredients for purpose, and
Yeah.
they're there for a reason, and they add to the beer. So there's one more beer. Speaking of ingredients, this is the mango one, right?
The mango, yeah. So we used real mango puree in this.
Hey.
Yeah.
Is this one called Speaking of Mangoes?
Yeah, it takes brew to mango.
Speaking of mangoes,
Brew to
ooh,
mango.
wow.
You really get that like fleshy like mango, like literally like you're opening up the fruit and biting
Yeah.
into it.
So good.
The smell, it reminds me of like the beach
Mangoes?
or like the boardwalk.
Yeah.
Like there's something about it that's like very beachy.
The mango flavor is so intense and delicious, but you still get the beer. And that's always my complaint about these beers, that they add the puree. It's usually all puree and like no beer, but the beer is still in there.
What style of beer is it?
It's kind of just like a mango wheat, like about 5% alcohol.
I was gonna say it tastes like a beer moza, but with with mango juice instead of orange juice.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
That is really good. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Super refreshing.
Yeah.
We put that beer on every summer. We just do it like May to about August, September, and it just like crushes for the whole summer.
That's really nice. Really good. It's juicy without being like a juicy IPA.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Throw some hops in there. Maybe we'll do that next time.
Yeah, I mean that would probably be
that would make the masses happy.
People would go crazy with that. But that's really
this is juicy with a purpose.
Yep.
Juicy with a purpose.
Wow, we got all the phrases today, man.
Yep.
Don't mess
That's
with
what we
us.
do.
Speaking of mangoes, juicy with a purpose.
Juicy with a purpose. Well,
We
on
might
that
have to
note,
take that name and use that.
Go ahead.
you may take all the
All right.
names.
Okay.
All the
I'll tell
names.
Fran about that.
Ethan at Stickman never does, so somebody has.
Yeah,
Yes.
somebody's got to
We've
use our
given him
genius.
more ideas than anyone else, and he's
That's
used
true.
0 of them. So maybe Mad Chef will use our ideas.
Hopefully.
All right, Sean. Well, it's good to see you as always.
Great to see
Keep
you guys.
pumping
Yeah,
out
man.
these amazing beers, and keep Francisco in line over there.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me
Bill.
on.
Mike's in the house.
Do.
Mike's in the house.
Mike is in the house.
Or the tent.
Or the tent.
under the
yeah,
tent.
I mean, this counts as our house for now. Mike, of course, being from Mooduk. How are you, my friend?
Hey, I've been great. It's good to be back in my hometown.
That's awesome, man.
For sure.
Yeah, we're super happy to be here. The event is always awesome. I'm glad you guys are here pouring as
Wait,
well.
are your parents here?
My dad usually helps pour, but he decided to go to our cabin this weekend instead. But usually Pops is here helping, but not today, unfortunately.
That was awesome that the fam was at our Poor Man's Brewing.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Podcast event. That was
My
a good
dad
time.
lives like literally less than 5 minutes from Poor Man's, so
That's awesome.
he's becoming a little bit of a Poor Man's regular, perhaps,
Nice. Nothing wrong
which
with
I'm
that.
okay with.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Poor Man's needs a name for their regulars, their groupies.
The poor men.
The poor men.
The Poor Man.
I mean, it's right
pretty
there.
It is
easy,
right there. It is right
Pretty
there.
easy
The
one
poor
to
men,
describe.
and then in parentheses,
All right.
and women.
I
women.
should have thought of that first. Poor people.
The poor people.
The
The poor
poor-
folk.
There
The
it
poor
is.
folk.
The po folk.
Well, I think that their mug club, I think it's the Poor Investment Club, which is
I
like
like
that.
that.
This should be the
Yeah.
proletariat.
See, I knew there was more in
All right,
this.
maybe we should stop talking about another brewery.
I
and talk
know.
about Mooduk.
Yeah. Well, what do we call the Mooduk regulars?
That's a good question, actually, too. We didn't even ever think about that.
the Moo
I don't know.
Ducks?
The Moo Ducks?
The cow quacks.
The Moody Ducks.
quacks.
No,
The
that sounds like
quack
Moody.
cows. Quack cows.
Quack cows.
Whack house.
I like it.
Oh my god.
Oh, this
What
is
is happening?
This is dangerously
I'm not
close to
what
something
happening,
else.
But
This is what happens when we podcast outside.
Right.
Yeah, I guess so. We're not allowed.
it's early yet, too. It's pretty impressive. I like it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, what are you guys pouring over there?
All right, so we got 3 beers with us today. We'll start with the lager.
Always
That's
start
a good
with
way
the
to
lager.
start.
Yeah, so this beer has been in kind of our R&D stage for a couple of months now under our name where all of our R&D beer goes, which is the Crazy Dave series. So anytime we brew a beer that doesn't have a name yet and we're just kind of playing around with it, it's a Crazy Dave beer. What we've been messing around with this one is actually brewing a lager but using a special lager yeast that can handle some higher temperatures. So we're actually brewing that at ale temperatures right now.
Really?
So what is this one called? Crazy
So-
Dave's what?
No, it's actually it's past the R&D stage now, and we were at the point where we like it a lot, and so it gets its own name. This is Extraordinary Contradiction, playing off the lager and the ale temp kind of theme there. But so normally, as you guys know, lagers are brewed really cold. This one's brewed at like 70 degrees. So and this lager yeast is awesome because it kicks out nice, clean flavors even at that high temperature.
Yeah, that I feel like that gives it a nice extra characteristic.
It gets there's like
A little bit of a caramelly,
Yeah,
and almost like
fruity,
a banana like wheat beer kind of
Yeah,
thing going
yeah,
on in there
yeah.
too. A lot of
Good,
those
I'm sure with the higher temp, there's some esters.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
definitely
there's
getting more esters than you would normally.
estery
But
stuff going on, which you don't get in a lager a lot.
I think
which
that's
is-
the best
yeah.
lager that I've had that you've brewed.
yeah,
in my opinion.
no, we're really happy with that one. So it's kind of we were calling it California Common for a while because it is the yeast that you can use in the California
right,
Common.
okay, yeah.
But Anchor Steam is such a iconic beer that people have a thought when you say California Common that's going to taste exactly like Anchor Steam, and
Right.
and it's not an Anchor Steam clone by any stretch of the imagination. It's really a totally different beer all on its own, but a nice lightly hopped, clean lager.
Yeah, it almost has I don't even want to say it's a Vienna. Like, it has a hint of that caramelliness, like a Vienna, but it's super clean drinking.
So it's 2-row malt with some Munich and just a little tiny bit of caramel malt just to up that color. But it's very much Vienna-like.
Call it a Pennsylvania ubiquitous.
It's a lager of its own. A lager of its own.
It's really. I like the two different sides you get out of it. It's really interesting. Yeah, I really like that.
Hence the name.
Hence the name. Yes.
There it is.
So where should we go next? Pink or not pink?
Let's go.
It's like you're ordering a steak.
Let's go right down the line there. Let's go with the middle one. I guess it would have been in the not pink one. How about
the
that?
not pink
Let's
one?
go not pink.
Not pink.
Yeah. So this
is that its name? Not pink.
This is our IPA. It's called Sitting with the Dog. It's a mango peach IPA, lightly hopped, a little bit hazy, as all beers I guess almost have to be today, but not brewed to be super super hazy. There is a little bit of wheat in it, but other than that, it's pretty clean beer otherwise. Falconer Slight hops, peach puree, mango chunks, and nice little summer sipper, I think.
It's very juicy.
Stop using that word. That's becoming your smooth today.
But it's juicy in the way I did.
It's literally juicy.
The last time I said juicy, I meant juicy, not like that kind of beer.
So you said you use mango chunks.
Yeah, mango chunks.
So do you prefer to use chunks versus puree?
I do. Anytime from our food service provider, if I can get frozen fruit, I go that direction over the puree. But that's just personal choice. But this is one of our favorite kind of warm weather IPAs, and anytime I release it, it goes stupidly quick, which
I can see why.
Which is great, but also maybe a little tad annoying when you have a great lager that doesn't sell as great.
Yeah, that nobody's drinking. Yeah, that is kind of sad.
We are lucky at Mooduk in that we can release something like that, and people drink a lot of that lead lager too, so we're lucky in that sense. And heck, our number one beer is not even an IPA, so
that's impressive.
Yeah, I know.
What is your number one beer?
Our number one beer is like a beer called the Remedy. It's a wheat beer with honey and chamomile.
Ooh,
that beer is great. That beer is great.
That sounds. I don't know if I've had that one, but that sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's a year-round beer for us, and that's part of the reason why it's the number one seller, because it's literally always on.
Is that one of your originals?
No, original was honey basil. So that is replaced the honey basil.
Okay.
And honey basil comes around once a year now, and that's it. And the Remedy is on all the time.
Because I definitely remember the first time we were there, I remember having
everybody
that.
remembers that beer, and it didn't sell for shit. And but then the second we took it off, everybody's already asking like, "Oh, what happened to honey basil?" But
that's so funny.
Why didn't you
we
buy
took
it?
it off because you people didn't buy it.
Right.
That's a good point, though. If you really like a beer, you need to order that beer and you need to drink that beer.
Right,
and I did not do that for a very long time. And then I got really pissy when the beers I wanted to drink were not on, and I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, they can't just make them by the pint for you.
No,
yes.
If
you like a beer, you need to order it and you need to drink it.
Yeah,
you need
definitely.
to spend money on the beer you like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and rant. We're going to drink
I
something
love it.
pink now.
Yeah, it's drinking pink. So this is a kettle sour. This is actually a collaboration with Poor Man. So I see it coming up on your next drinking block there too. But
are we gonna have the same one again? Nice.
That's all right. We can drink this twice.
That's
What's it
funny.
called? We'll see which one's better.
So yeah, ironically, Poor Man. We brewed this on their system, and they already had the name Berry Funny registered with the TTB and such. So we went with Berry Funny on this one. So their first version of it was raspberry. We did a strawberry version. We tried to brew seasonal at Mooduk, and when Ryan and I came up with the idea to do a kettle sour together, I said, let's do it right around the fresh strawberry season. And we literally went out to a farm field and we're down on our hands and knees picking strawberries for this beer, which was pretty wild, but pretty awesome all at the same time.
This is delicious.
It's really good. I really like
really
that.
delicious.
You really get the strawberry.
Yeah.
I have to take a second because I just burped up buffalo mac and cheese. I promise I'll take a sip and have a real opinion in a second.
Oh my! And,
my
well, we
gosh.
should. I also had a chicken salad wrap. Shout out to what's the name of that truck?
Chicken something or other.
Kickin' Chicken or something along that line, I think.
Like
It's ridiculous because it's like
Kickin'
right where
Chicken.
we're sitting and all I keep smelling is fried chicken.
Yeah,
coming
we
my
should
way.
probably find out exactly what it is and then give them a proper
I
shout
can
out.
see it from here. The Kickin' Chicken.
So
Bus.
it is Kickin' Chicken. There it is.
Kickin' Chicken Bus.
The KickinChickenBus.com. Check them out. Good food.
But yeah, we just released this beer today.
wow, that's
we're really
delicious.
excited about that beer. I tasted it. We just kegged it Thursday. I tasted it when we were kegging it, and I liked it. And then I think the carb and the cold did it a ton even better. I think it's a pretty awesome beer.
Oh, that is incredible. For some reason lately I've been into berry flavors more than
Yeah.
anything else. This is it's perfect. Oh, it's great.
It's quite tasty.
Yeah.
So mark your calendars, people. November 1st, we are recording at Mooduk.
5th anniversary?
For the big
Anniversary,
fifth
yeah.
anniversary
Anniversary.
celebration. So we are very, very excited
Yeah.
to come back out there.
It's gonna be awesome.
I probably mentioned this on the show before, but it's the longest,
Yeah, right.
furthest out we've ever
Yeah.
put.
I think it was a year.
It was
right?
a
year.
I
An
think,
event
when,
on
when
our
Steph was out at
calendar.
our 4th anniversary, we said, "You guys got to come up and hang out with us for the 5th."
Yes, it's going to be a whole weekend long of festivities, but we will be there Friday night.
You guys will be
so-
there Friday night. We'll have live music that night. The unbarrel-aged version of King Slava will also be released that night.
Oh.
So
I love that beer so much.
we haven't decided. It's probably going to be called Naked Slava, but
Makes
so
sense.
it'd be nice to taste it without the bourbon character, and it's just a really kick-ass Russian Imperial Stout to start. So we're excited to have people
Or
taste it.
Slava
unbarreled,
in
too.
the buff.
Slava in the buff. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
What's the tale about the king that?
The Emperor's clothes?
There it is. Yeah, you should do something around that.
Yeah, I got it. Cool.
Or Slava shirtless on a unicorn?
Yeah, I think that's
No,
the theme
that's
right there.
that's Saucony. They're unicorns.
Yeah, that's true. Well, anyway, I guess we got to hurry up and
Yeah,
drink the
thank you,
same
guys.
beer again with the
Again,
other
right.
people. who
Yeah.
made it.
We'll pretend
I-
we didn't have it.
I will
yet.
gladly drink more of it.
Yeah, it was
Just
really
tell
good.
Ryan ours is better though.
We will. Definitely will.
Speaking of devil, he's coming over for his spot in the spotlight.
Yep.
Cool.
Here he comes. Here
Mike,
he comes.
thank you so
All right,
much for coming
thank
up, man.
you
Great to
much,
see you
guys.
again.
Always
Good
a
to see
problem.
you.
The best way to do a beer fest is to do a podcast because you get to sit in one spot. Rich brings you all the beer and all the cool people to talk to. We have headphones and microphones so we can hear each other over the crowd.
It is
this is a
literally
pretty good
the
setup.
best.
Yeah. And now we're outside at a beer fest, so we got a tent. We're kicking it in the nice cool breeze.
Kick it.
Weather is perfect.
Yeah,
The weather is perfect.
Today's very nice. Speaking of kicking it, we have Ryan from Poor Man's with us today.
Woo!
Hi guys.
Right now. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
How's James?
That's the first
He's
thing
good. I
was
think he's
gonna ask
sober
you.
at this moment. Finally, from the recording, he sobered up.
It took him that long, huh?
Yeah, it took him that long.
Yeah, I believe it.
He's
I
kind of a
believe it.
lightweight. I'm sure you guys noticed.
So
But a pretty good rapper.
I was going to say, have you? I noticed after we recorded there, your brewery signed up as a patron of our podcast.
We did, yeah.
So
Just
I'm
to
assuming
listen to that last
some
call.
of, not all of you, have heard that episode of Last Call.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
I think, Sam and I have. James, I don't think he's even brought himself to listen to the episode at all. I know he's a listener now. Like, he
That's
listens
good.
because he's told me he's listened to, I think, the Shaler episode afterwards.
Oh, okay, fair.
But I don't think he's even listened to ours. I think he wants to hear it.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. You guys
It
were
was.
We
really
had a
cool.
lot
The
of
beer
fun
was
with you
delicious.
Thank
that
you.
was a pretty epic Last Call episode.
It was.
One
Yeah.
for the ages.
We were crying. We actually had to re-listen to it 3 or 4 times because we started laughing so hard we just couldn't hear it.
That could be
awesome.
a commercial to become a patron.
Yeah,
You'll laugh so
yeah.
hard you'll have to listen to it 3 times.
Patreon.com/beerbusters.
So you brought some beers over.
We did, yeah. We have 3 beers here today.
Pink, hazy, and hazier.
Yes. The Kolsch is the one that's not supposed to be hazy. That's probably the bottom of the beginning of that keg, to be honest with you. That's not been very popular so far today.
Oh, really?
Aw.
The other one is a experimental no boil IPA. So that one is probably the haziest IPA we've ever made. And then the last is a fruited fresh strawberry kettle sour.
So let's start with the Kolsch. I love a Kolsch.
Okay.
What is this Kolsch called?
It is What's an Umlau. That's our first Kolsch.
Oh, it's nice.
It's got kind of a little bit of a twist to it. It has Hallertau Blanc hops, so it's got a very mild kind of melon aftertaste if you're searching for it.
The grains are very pronounced.
Yeah, it's a pretty basic recipe. It's Pilsner malt and a little bit of Victory, and that's some Kolsch yeast. That's pretty much it.
Super drinkable. I could crush that. That is nice.
That's been what we're bringing down. So the spot where we're at,
yeah.
Ephrata just started. Well, they've done it for a few years, but it just kind of got popular. They do these markets every 3rd Saturday for the whole summer, and we've been bringing that beer because it's been hot and it's been real popular at that.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
perfect for that.
Definitely a good one to cool off with when you're out in the sun.
Yeah,
Very much so. I like that. I really like that.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I'm
I love a
sure
good
people
Kolsch.
are going to wise up and start drinking that soon. The event's only been open for a half hour at this
Yeah.
point, so there's time for them to wise
Everyone
up.
wants the crazy and hoppy stuff first, and then after I can't drink any more of that,
Then
then
they
they
switch
go
to
back
the-
around and
oh,
start
yeah.
To normal
They'll want to
good
drink
stuff.
that. I know Boniface has the 225, which is an amazing lager.
I recently shared a Kolsch with someone who doesn't drink a ton of beer, and I was like, it's beer-flavored beer. It's beer that tastes like beer. There's no peanut butter. There's no fruit. I mean, that stuff's fun, but
yeah,
I
it's
love
a
it
good. It's a background noise beer.
Yeah.
If you just want to drink a beer, you don't want to have to try to think about it the whole time. It's perfect. For that.
Absolutely. So this other can't even see through it. Almost opaque thing.
Yeah. So
This is
I'll
the
be
no
brutally
boil?
I don't know.
honest about
I don't know
this
about
thing.
All right,
this,
yes,
Ryan.
please be
All right,
brutally
It
so-
looks like a banana smoothie. I'm going to be honest.
We talked about making one of these. Sam actually brought it up to me. He was at another brewery. I can't remember. I think somewhere in York. And he said they had this no boil IPA. So I was like, all right, I'll make one. We started talking about it. I didn't actually plan on when I was going to make it. Our system on the way up to a boil broke. And it just so happened to be at 180 degrees when our heating elements failed. So that's the temperature that we were planning on taking the no boil to. So we're like, okay, well this was supposed to be an IPA that we call 100, which is not normally very hazy. But we're like, well, we can't boil this, so what are we going to do? So we turned it into this no boil. So we held it at 180, added a bunch of Citra Mosaic, and then cooled it down to 155, added a bunch more, dry hopped it with Citra Mosaic and Idaho 7.
What's it called?
It's called Quick and Sticky. Almost forgot.
That's
Quick
funny.
and sticky.
Quick and Sticky, yep.
Not exactly my cup of tea, but I assume it's pretty popular with the people who are into that kind of thing.
People are like the idea just because it's different, an experimental sort of thing.
Yeah.
The mosaic is what saves it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
The mosaic flavors are very pronounced, and I really, really like that hop.
Yeah, I agree.
If I close my eyes, I could probably drink a whole pint of it.
It does have like a fresh herbal,
Yeah.
almost grassy character. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And the main thing I was worried about with that beer was stability because it didn't go through a hot break. I was worried, is it going to be the bottom of each keg going to be basically like 3 gallons of sludge?
Oh, that's a really good point.
And it hasn't been, surprisingly. It's been fine, and it's basically held up just like all of our other hazier beers.
Well, these beers don't usually sit around breweries that
True.
long.
No, yeah,
true,
it's
yeah.
true.
So this last beer,
Looks pretty
what
familiar.
on earth is this?
Yeah. So that is our strawberry kettle sour. We run a bunch of them under the name Berry Funny, and then we just change the fruit. So it's a 5% kettle sour with 100 pounds of locally grown strawberries that we brewed with Mooduk.
I like Mike's better.
Do you? Yeah, his
I'm kidding.
Jockey
He told
Box
me I had to
Force
say
Nicer.
that.
Jockey box force things.
It's Jockey Box
That's
Pours
what it comes
Nicer.
down to. And a little bit of lactose to kind of bring it back into not being a little bit too sour.
I liked it 10 minutes ago, and I like it now.
It is a great beer.
It is really nice.
I love strawberry. Strawberry is one of my favorite flavors.
Yeah.
And really, if you think about it, it's not a fruit that usually a lot of beers are made with.
I think it's hard, and this is just speculation, but I think it's hard to get a good fresh strawberry flavor without like using an insane amount, because a lot of strawberry flavored things have that like sticky candy strawberry,
Yeah.
whereas this has like a fruit fresh strawberry type flavor.
Well, that you guys picked fresh strawberries,
Yeah,
right?
they're
Yeah.
from Reef's Farmers Market, like 2 miles from here. We
Yeah.
we didn't pick all 100 pounds. We originally planned on it, and then Sam and his wife had to go and have a baby, so he wasn't there. So it was
Yes,
just me and Mike.
congratulations, Sam.
So we picked like of the 80 quarts, we picked I think 37 or 47, one of the two.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we just halved them, cut the tops off, flash froze them, so that way we could kill whatever bacteria was on the surface and threw them in the beer. And it was 100 pounds for like 95 gallons of beer.
Wow.
So it was a lot of strawberry.
It did a lot of justice for it. It comes through, and it's
Yeah.
it's delicious. I love
It is
this.
really, really tasty.
We do a strawberry blonde too, and it has that kind of similar, like, I don't want to say tartness in that beer, but that different white part of the strawberry, not the juicy red part, sort of flavor to it. And when we first started making that beer, it was on our opening weekend. It wasn't very well received because everyone was thinking like strawberry syrup beers,
Right. Yeah.
and we kind of had to explain to them that beer tastes like that because it has syrup in it. This
Yeah.
beer tastes like this because it has actual
Real
strawberries. in it.
strawberries, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's starting to come around with that beer, and this just worked perfect with the sour because it's already tart anyway.
Yeah. Really nice. And a beautiful pink color.
Yes.
Yeah, that helps sell for sure.
People love pretty
Yeah.
beers.
No, it's
Definitely.
great. I can see that doing very, very, very well.
Yeah.
What are other fruits that you've used for the berry funny?
We did a raspberry, blackberry, peach, and blood orange.
Ooh, blood orange. That
Yeah,
sounds
the
good.
blood orange was probably my favorite. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting to like that one that much. That was probably my favorite of them so far.
Did we have one of those when we were at your place?
You guys had the raspberry.
Raspberry?
I
Okay.
believe.
I feel like
Yeah,
that's right.
I think
Okay.
we had a crowler and last call of the raspberry.
That's
yeah,
right,
and we
yeah.
also had an ice box.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a nice box. Correction, you had a nice box. I was
That's
well
fair.
past that thing at that point. I'm like, no, I'm not touching
Somebody
that.
may have downed the taster like a shot of the ice box. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
It might have been rapping later in the evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we had because we had 2 beers that were super crazy high, and then the raspberry was the one that was like 5%.
And then we drank Death Water.
This is reasonable. Yeah, well, we still have a can of that at home.
I still have a can too.
yeah.
I don't want to drink the last.
I got
can.
an ad for that on Facebook the other day.
That's
Fuck
so
water.
funny. Oh, fuck water. That's what we
water.
Yeah, you know, every mention of that got cut out.
Yeah.
Because it started off as like, I can't save this to make it usable for the episode, and then I didn't want to make it an outtake, and then we referenced it so many times.
Well,
Is it on the internet anywhere?
No.
It's in Last Call. We call it.
So
Fuck
only
Water.
our patrons and the people that were there that night know about
There's
it.
no context because it's not in the main episode.
No.
But we call it Fuck Water.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
I listened to it, honestly.
Whoever's listening to this right now, you still have no idea what we're talking about, but that's fine.
All right, Ryan. Well, it's good to see you as always.
Well, I
Have
have
fun
you guys.
today.
I want to invite you guys to our anniversary party.
Ooh,
okay.
Oh, sweet.
It's
Praise
August
hell.
17th. It's a Saturday.
Okay.
Are
You guys can go. That's when I leave for
He's going
Canada.
to be in Canada.
Okay. We're going to be doing our barrel-aged stout. It's going to go on tap that day. We're probably going to do bottles of the barrel-aged stout.
Get me one.
And then we're going to do a different small batch beer every hour on the hour, starting at noon, ending at 9.
How
Nice.
cool.
That's
So those will change
awesome.
every hour. Yep.
That was the 17th?
Yeah, the 17th.
Yeah.
That is
All
so
right,
cool.
I'm putting it in my
Seriously,
calendar
one of
now.
you, please get me a bottle of that beer.
I have
make
it in my
sure we save you
phone.
one.
Dan
Oh, thanks.
can't record.
Yeah. It's all that whole week.
Oh, Canada.
I know, right?
Anniversary
Poor man.
party
I
in the
can't
calendar. All right, come and hang out with me and Wayne. All right, Ryan. Have fun today.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
man.
Thanks for having me
Cheers.
on.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
It has been way too long since we've talked to anybody at the next brewery, and that's a shame because we had a beer that we named that is still one of my favorite things that we have there. So we've got joining us Kyle from Oak Brook. How are you, my friend?
I am doing fine. How about yourself?
Oh, doing great, man. Thank
Very
you
good,
for
very good.
coming up to the table.
A rare outing
Yeah,
for you
a
to
rare
a festival.
appearance.
It is. It is a rare outing. I'm, I don't get around crowds much, but I think I'll be all right.
You think you can handle it?
I do.
Can you control yourself?
I'm working on it.
You're getting lots of vitamin D today.
I am
from
getting
the sun.
vitamin D. I'm in the sun. They gave me a nice spot over here, right out in the open, so it's pretty cool. I usually prefer a spot that's easily defendable, maybe up against a building in a corner somewhere, but
Yeah.
I'm right out in the open, so. But it's working for me. It's working.
Now, I know you don't typically do a lot of beer fests, and by you I mean Oak Brook.
Yeah.
You're very selective, but there was a reason why you guys decided to come out to Ephrata today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we lucked out that it's a great day, but we came out primarily because we're going to be entering the Lancaster market here really shortly through our distribution. So we're really looking forward to that. The last year, our distribution went from very, very little to the point where our beer is spoken for before it leaves a fermenter, and that's been an interesting adjustment. But we have adjusted successfully, and we are now producing more beer more regularly. I think the quality of the beer is notably higher than where it was just a year ago, and we're ready to move into another market. And we've done a little bit of testing in Lancaster, and our beer's done really well here so far, and we're looking forward to expanding that now. So
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
That's awesome news. And even locally, for those of us that still get out to the pub on a regular basis, you guys have updated your food menu as well.
Yeah, it was necessary. We opened up with a varied food menu. We're not really sure what people were going to want, and we got tied up with the day to day, and we never really revamped the menu from our opening. So it was long overdue, and we've really upped our food game. We have a chef working with us now, and I think our food is finally on par with the beer that we're serving.
Well, Rich and I will even go there just for dinner. I mean, usually if you go out to a brewery, you're like, I'm going to go to a brewery and have some beers, and food is an afterthought, but we actually come to Oak Brook for the purpose of eating dinner.
Thank you.
Because the food is so good.
And seriously, that's when I say we needed to change, because we noticed that wasn't happening. We were selling food with the beer, but we weren't a destination for dinner.
Yeah.
We were a destination either before or after dinner, and that's changed. And we've noticed that change drastically since we updated our menu about 3 or 4 months ago.
It's all about the grilled cheeses.
It seems to
Holy
be,
crap.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
guys
and we do
seriously
do
make the best grilled cheese
and we do
sandwiches.
vegetarian and vegan versions
Yeah.
of them as well, and they actually, they actually work. They're not just like a forced modification that we veganized something and it's not really a stand on its own food. But these really, really work both on the normal menu or the vegetarian. Or
And the
vegan
number
menu.
of options. Usually when you go to a brewery as a vegetarian or as a vegan, whatever I feel like being that day. there's like one thing that you can get, but you guys can veganize almost all of your grilled cheese sandwiches, and they're all. I have yet to pick a favorite because every time I have one,
and we got the timing on that's work too, because some of the vegan cheeses that are out now really taste good.
Yeah.
And that wasn't always just a few years ago. Wasn't necessarily the case. You had to sacrifice some of the flavor and the texture to eat healthier, but that's not the case anymore. The quality of the food, the ingredients is there and on par. So yeah, we're really happy to be able to offer that now, and it's gone over very, very well. We're starting to see what's great is we're seeing other venues now around town doing more and more vegetarian and vegan stuff. So it's nice to see.
Have you had to make a change to your kitchen setup at all? Are you able to?
Yeah, minor modifications.
But nothing like major.
No, it didn't require any major overhauls or anything, which was nice. And that was kind of a prerequisite for me putting the menu together, because we're really kind of cramped for space there. We don't have a lot of room. So we found something that we could do and do well that worked with our setup and also complements our beers.
Right. I'm always amazed to see breweries that manage to kick out, like I think of Shaler, that manage to kick out amazing food, and then you talk to them about what they actually have in the back of the house, and it's like, how are you doing this with that equipment? And it's amazing to see people be creative within those limitations, and it's just really cool to see, and to be able to have vegetarian and vegan options as varied as you do with a small space. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks. And what you're explaining is probably explained by the fact that a lot of breweries open up and they're brewer-centric. The brewer is opening a brewery and they're not coming from a food background necessarily. And you can tell pretty quickly the ones that do come from a food background and the ones that do not.
Yeah.
And when I said we needed to overhaul, we were that way in the beginning. I was focused so much on the beer and not so much the food. It was almost an afterthought in the beginning. And I think that you're seeing a lot of breweries doing a lot with limited resources for that, for that reason is, you start from a different perspective. We were able to, like I said, find something that worked well in the space that we had.
Right. So. Well, if anyone's going to make use of a tight space, it's going to be a brewer, though, too.
Isn't that the truth? Oh, isn't that the truth? Speaking of working with tight spaces,
I'm sorry.
Are you looking at adding a second tap room at all?
A separate tap room?
Yeah.
Eventually, it's probably going to happen. I mean, right now we have a limited footprint with our brewery there on Park Avenue. And as we're growing and distribution is increasing, I'm running out of room in the brewery, and the brewery's going to start pushing out into the pub before terribly long. And when that starts happening, we start looking at maybe reducing the number of seats or changing the format of that location and be more of a tap room, or maybe not anything but a brewery one day. I'm not really sure how it's going to work out. I mean, we're going to have to see how the next year progresses, but we definitely are cramped for space at the moment, and I can scale a little bit, but I don't know how quickly that is going to be used up by by the demand that we're experiencing. So if that has to happen, then we would look at a tap room probably in a higher traffic area than we are right now. So,
well, let's drink beer.
Yes, let's.
We'll start with the peach. Oh, that is summertime. So this is the peach wheat ale.
Peach wheat. I couldn't remember the other part of that.
Peach wheat.
Wheat.
Peach wheat.
Wheat.
Wheat. Wheat.
Wheat.
Wheat. Tell us about the peach wheat.
Well, it is. You nailed it. It's our summer seasonal ale that we have out. Just when the weather warms up, we do our first batch of peach, and then we'll do that through the summer until Labor Day. It's one of those that people look forward to us releasing. When do you bring the peach back? That kind of thing. But the peach isn't overwhelming. I find it's more in the aroma.
It is.
And a little bit in the finish, just a tad in the finish.
I was going to say when I first smelled it, it reminded me of peach schnapps. Actually,
really, the aroma.
The first thing I thought of was peach.
It has a really pleasant, lingering peach flavor, which is quite nice.
It does.
I like that.
But like in the middle there, it's not a ton of peach. It's like in the aroma and
like,
the aftertaste.
I'm a beer.
Yeah, I'm a beer.
Yeah, and because it's a little restrained on that, it pairs pretty well with a lot of grilled food, like we're grilling out in the summer. Lighter foods, chicken, poultry, fish. I don't think it pair with a steak, but lighter foods I think go really well with it.
There's something else in there. I'm having a Dan moment. I'm having a flavor I'm getting that I can't put my finger on.
Honestly, to me, it just reminds me of like peach rings, which is perfect. But like also as a beer, and it's incredible.
Thank you.
So the next one is, do I dare say, probably your most popular beer?
Yeah.
Sure?
It's about half of all the beer we sell right now.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty popular. How many different beers do you know? I know you do like some that are coming.
Yeah, we've got we've got about 20 that are recurring beers, but these days, because of the demand, that's actually contracted a little bit because we need to be brewing this particular beer 50% of the time.
Right, yeah.
So all of our other beers have to go through the fermentation process through that other half of our capacity. So right now we've got probably 14 beers on tap, I'd say. 12 to 14 has been the average.
Definitely a crowd pleaser.
It's a well-made beer, though.
Oh, it totally is.
Oh, yeah,
it
very
is a
much
very
so.
well-made
Totally
beer.
is, yeah.
We rag on hazy IPAs.
No
all the
offense
time,
to Ryan, but I like this better than their no boil experiment.
I'm not going to say my opinion. I like this beer.
No, I think it's very well executed. It's like you said, Wayne. It's got to be the crowd pleaser, but it's
got a nice.
I genuinely like it.
It's got
like
a nice
I would order this willingly, unlike other hazy ones.
And that's what we're shooting for. We want our customers to come into our location willingly and order a pint.
Well, it's no secret that we don't like the hazy beers more often than not, but I would get this.
That is. I think that's a very important secret to a successful business.
It has been. We tried the first couple of weeks floating around with Shanghaiing folks as they walked by. They were unsuspecting. They were didn't this used to be a firehouse? What the hell is going on here?
Come in and drink our beer.
Next thing I know, they got a pint in their hand, and they're very, very confused.
You just grab them around the neck and tilt their heads back and pour beer down their throats.
But the key is oness they've had it,
they come back for more.
Then they come back for more, yeah.
So maybe Shanghaiing works.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Who'd have thought customers willingly buying your product? That's the secret.
Well, it's good to see you. It's always good to catch up.
It's great.
Keep pumping it out, and good luck with the expansion.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
exciting.
Lancaster County is going to be
it's
very,
exciting
very
for
excited
us.
to
I
have
hope
you.
so. I mean, it's been it's been an interesting couple of years, and we're starting to get that reach now outside of Berks County and outside of Reading. It's fun.
Well, and it's cool because a lot of breweries have been popping up in the Reading area over the past couple of years.
Yes,
and I feel like if there's at some point somebody's going to say there was a first wave. I feel like you were still in that first wave.
Yeah,
maybe towards the tail end of it. But
no, agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, we started the process actually before any of the others were actually open. But as you guys know,
we had truth?
We had a few years of time to think about things before we actually got our doors open. So but thank you. I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get back out into the sun because I know you don't often get to experience that.
Defend your turf.
Will do. Right. Thanks again, guys.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Good to see you. Dan, would you like to intro us in?
Hey, Dan.
Oh, my God.
Who's at the table?
I fucking hate both of you.
Are you as good at names as I am? Is that what's going on here?
No. I tried to think of something cool to say on the way in.
We've been stealing his job all day. Usually he's the intro guy to this interview. I think this interview has been introed, by the way.
Yeah, I think...
Has it? Yeah. We have Mike from St. Boniface here.
Mike from St. Boniface is here. Chris from, what is it, Beer, Bourbon, and Games. That's what it is also here. Dan has spliced in the best intro of the night. You just heard it. He recorded it after the fact, but he's going to splice it in right before this, so you totally would have just heard it.
I love how we're making more work.
The best part is I probably didn't.
No, you totally did.
I believe in you.
I can feel it. Yeah.
Thanks.
Anyway.
So, yes, we do have the aforementioned people at the table.
I haven't sat down at a microphone with Mike, I think, since the very first episode we did at St. Boniface.
Oh, were you not at the last one?
I wasn't at the last one. I
Okay.
couldn't make it. Rich sat in and did the Happy Fun Time game. Did a bang-up job, I must say.
He did?
So it's been a long time. Dane is always, we were talking about Dane a minute ago, is always the ones we see out and about. But it's cool to see you out at a fest. Do you get out to pour a lot at fests? Or?
I do not pour a lot.
Yeah.
Only when it's necessary.
Only when there's absolutely no other option.
Yeah, pretty much. Dane is actually on vacation this weekend. Right. So, and then we are doing a pop-up down in Lancaster.
Oh, okay, cool.
So Tim, the guy that usually does events, is down there doing that today.
Right.
So
you
I got the duties.
Came out of the sun.
I did begrudgingly come out, but I'm actually enjoying myself because it's a beautiful day.
Yeah,
really. And it's actually a pretty relaxed festival. So we don't have huge lines, but there's tons of people and they're having a good time, but we're not stressed out, so it's good.
This has always been, I mean, we're so psyched this is the first year we're recording here, but this has always been one of the best fests for us to come to. The weather, I mean, every year, we talked about this earlier, has pretty much been pretty great. Today's no exception, and it's just a cool spot, and it is chill.
Did you say exemption?
Exception. I've had some beers.
I'm drinking already, and I don't think you're getting this.
Oh,
no.
So Steph is drinking the lager that we decided is going to be a flagship.
It better be.
Next week, I think you said, is when that's going to start?
You could take one tiny sip and pass it back to me. So
Yeah.
225 is literally one of the best beers ever, and it is currently my favorite beer right now.
Nice.
Currently right now.
Currently right now.
Well, we appreciate that.
It's so good.
I'm sure you guys all know the story about the collaboration with Lancaster newspapers.
Yep.
And
that's incredible.
You know, I think pretty much everybody around thinks print media is dead, print advertising is no good, but I'll tell you what, the advertising we did through that just blew the whole thing up, and like we had every account was begging to get it because all their customers were asking for it. So it's still effective.
Yeah, I kind of feel like also there's more legitimacy if something's physically in print.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like you see. I mean, you can put an ad for anything on the internet.
I
but
still like to have paper in my hands.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
So 225 was a collaboration to celebrate their 225th anniversary. correct?
Right. So we decided to come up with a traditional style lager, something that would have been, drunk through all those ages before craft beer.
Yeah.
And so we, of course, John nailed it like he always does. And
John knows how to make a lager.
Yeah, and it's excellent, and we hope it continues to gain steam.
Yeah, super drinkable. It's the kind of beer. What is it? It says on your cans in German.
Stop talking, start drinking.
Stop talking, start. This is a perfect beer to embody that. Like,
Yep.
It's just a really well made lager. It's
And you can get a case for under $40.
Right, and that's our other goal.
unreal.
Actually, is if possible, keep it cheap. So that it can appeal to those who drink Miller Lite. Okay, it's not $25 for a 30-pack, but it's still more realistic. And I think actually in the distributors, you should be able to get it for under 30.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm going to go find one.
Most
of
I
those.
know, right?
I know, right?
I'm selling it everyone on the way home.
Yeah, and our kegs are cheap too. So we have to kind of re-educate the bars that carry it though, because they think since it's craft, they should charge $5 or $6. But it's, I would like it to be Lancaster's lager. To compete with Yingling Lager,
Like what
compete
Sam
with-
Adams is to Boston.
right?
Yeah.
And have that kind of presence, have that kind of beer for Lancaster. Try to compete with the price point a little bit, and so that's my goal for that beer.
So that's what we need to do, people. This is my mission for this episode. Go out and drink it. You will fall in love with it like Chris and I have, and then you need to keep ordering it everywhere you go.
There you go.
I bought 2 more packs of it last night.
It's an amazing, amazing, amazing beer.
Buy the beer you like.
Yes, I agree. So you brought something else we like too, but
Yeah, so we have the 3-pound IPA, which is our go-to IPA. It's the best seller on draft for us.
this might be the beer that we've had on this show more than any other beer.
It could very well
Could
be.
very well be, yeah.
If only we had an intern to run those numbers for us.
Yeah. Good
Oh,
luck.
Rich.
Good luck with that.
Well, I could see how many times we've checked it in on Untapped,
That's
actually.
true.
That is true. That is also true.
I do really, really like this
I
beer.
mean, we've said everything there is to say about this beer. Amazing IPA. One of the tent poles for St. Boniface has been. And continues
Single
to
hop
be.
with Cascade, as always. And just, you think about, when I think of Cascade, I think, bland, whatever, IPAs from 10, 15 years ago that didn't have much flavor, but the flavor we get out of this is just pretty incredible.
It's really nice. It's got almost like a lemon citrus on the very tail end. Yeah.
It's claiming this is only the second time. Maybe
That's a bunch
Padea.
of
There's got to be
bullshit.
more.
That's a
Maybe
bunch of
Padea is
bullshit.
the one we've had more than
Padea's
any other.
amazing too.
Yeah, probably Paideia.
Well,
yeah.
let's be honest. All your beers are amazing. We've
Well,
never had
thank
a
you,
bad beer from St. Boniface.
No,
That is a fact.
there's not
Thank
one.
you.
Yeah,
It's good to hear. That's what
definitely.
we strive for.
Are we trying to stroke Mike's ego right now?
I think so. So I know Bonifest was just last month, right?
That was 2 weeks ago.
Was it 2 weeks ago?
It was
Okay.
Saturdays ago.
So I know it was 2 weeks ago.
Cape May.
What year are we at of that? What year are we at for the anniversary insert number or beer?
Eight
Is it eight?
So yeah, so
Anniversary.
we're 8th anniversary this year,
Yeah.
6th anniversary for Bonifest.
Okay. I still have not been to a single Bonifest,
Oh,
and
man.
I hate.
And this is the first I was not at.
yeah,
And it was really good this year. The weather was perfect, just like today.
it's awesome.
And we had over 1,000 people, which is more than we've ever had before.
That's great.
What are you going to do with the label when you hit double digits?
Well, I don't know. That's the end.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Then you're just done with
No
it.
more?
Yeah.
No, then you just close the brewery. You're
I
done.
don't know what we're going to do. Yeah, exactly. Yep. 10's enough. No, I don't know what we're going to do after that, but the goal was to do up to the 10th year with the stout.
Okay.
And have like a big vertical. So we're saving cases.
Oh yeah.
So we have like
cool.
5 cases of each in reserve.
Ooh.
So on the 10th anniversary, we will have a vertical box that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, so Steph, you know how you said earlier the Moo Duck booking was the earliest ahead of time?
Can we do
Let's
2 years?
do 2 years.
Can we book?
Can we record at that event?
And can
Why
we do?
not?
And let's do a vertical.
10th anniversary. Yeah.
It'll be.
We will. Oh, it'll be. You just want to get Dan drunk again. That's what's happening.
Oh God. Oh God. And you know what? When we get there, he will still be telling the story about the last time.
I don't bring it up anymore. You do.
No, we
I know
bring
you
it up
do.
now.
That's what makes it funny.
No, it's not funny.
Well, before we get too carried away, we should talk a little bit about Chris,
Yes.
who won a pair of tickets that Ephrata Brewfest was kind enough to give a lot of the vendors here tickets to give away. They gave us 2. We had a contest. Chris won, and serendipitously, he also does beer stuff on the internet. We mentioned earlier beer, bourbon, and games. So he tells your elevator pitch. What is that?
Well, so I started off on YouTube a little bit ago, and I started actually as a video game Let's Play channel. Unfortunately, there's way too many Let's Players. There's tons of them. And I was trying to think, what do I love? And bourbon is the first thing that came to my mind. I am hugely passionate about that, and I also love beer. And there is a ton of craft beer. It is an amazing time to love beer. Mm-hmm. So on the channel, one of the things I like to really do is put a highlight on local craft and independent beer. That is my favorite. I still remember the first beer I ever had that was craft is Yingling. Yeah. That kind of was my gateway.
Was it craft when you had it the first time?
I don't know. When was it considered craft? When did they move
actually
over?
Not that long ago.
Like
Okay.
4 years, maybe. Yeah.
So I guess it was not craft when I got it. But that got me into beer, and it's slowly just my love has just grown for it. There's so many different flavors out there, so many different hop varieties, and the craft beer is just popping up everywhere. And there's so many you can drink, review, and it's an amazing time to just share your passion of beer with everyone.
So is that a lot of what the videos stuff you do is like reviews?
Yes.
Of specific beers or breweries?
Mostly specific beers.
Okay.
Right now, I actually just, Poor Man's, they did their Started From the Bottom, Now You're Here.
Yeah.
That was a little homebrew contest, so I actually reviewed one of their employees, Devin, submitted a Hefeweizen.
Okay.
And my newest video is actually his homebrew for that competition.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can't get any more local than a homebrew craft brewer. So it's really cool to see what's coming out from places.
Very cool.
Awesome.
So you're on YouTube. You're also on Instagram.
I'm on YouTube, Instagram. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and I have no idea what Snapchat does, but I'm on that as well.
Snapchat is my jam. That's my favorite.
I know nothing about it. I think I've done like 3 pictures, and that's it.
That's all you need to do.
Beer Busters has a Snapchat, but I don't think we've used it in many, many years.
3 years. I stopped
years.
using it shortly after the 100th episode.
Yeah.
Wow, we have a 3-year-old Snapchat.
I use my personal Snapchat daily, though.
Does Boniface have a Snapchat?
Absolutely not.
Oh, my God.
I never fucking
Well,
will.
I shouldn't say that. Dane will get upset. I'm the curmudgeon when it comes to social media. And ironically, I have Snapchat because
Wait, what?
because I have daughters. So they Snapchat me all the time.
I love that. You just earned even more points.
Wow.
I love it.
Most places don't even have a Twitter for breweries, but you've got a Snapchat.
No, not for the brewery.
Yeah,
Just my personal use.
Yeah.
But
Wait, do you have a Bitmoji?
no.
Oh, come on.
I will not go that far.
Aw.
Steph made us do it.
I have Bitmoji.
I've made them do a lot of things over their 30-some years of existence.
That is-
Were they drunk when you made them?
Probably. Yeah, we were. We were at your house. I remember when it happened. Actually.
I did mine at Workhorse.
Oh, the Bitmoji. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. You made me download Snapchat a drunken night at your house after some event. That's usually how
No,
these
I'm not
things
sorry.
happen. Yeah, sorry, not
I am
sorry.
not sorry at all. I
So
love
yeah,
Snapchat.
beer, bourbon, and games. Search for that, I guess, on YouTube
Yeah.
and all the other
And all
outlets.
the
and
socials.
Pop quiz, Chris. Favorite beer, favorite bourbon, favorite video game.
Wow.
Ooh, that is
I
tough.
hate when people ask me questions
I know,
like
right on
that.
the...
What's your favorite
225,
something?
Bourbon
Yeah.
sucks. I don't play games.
225. We'll go old school. We'll go Super Mario World.
Okay.
And
Oh, that's a good one.
for bourbon, I am going to go... God, why did you put me on the spot on this one? I hate you. There's just so many.
I couldn't even name a bourbon right now.
I'll go Jim Beam single barrel for
Is
right
Wild
now.
Turkey a bourbon?
Okay. Wild Turkey is. Matthew
There you go.
McConaughey is their spokesman.
I named one.
Wild Turkey's not bad these days.
I only know that because
Bullet is very good. I toured all of them.
I got distracted. I have no idea what I was saying. The crowd. We should not be facing.
I had
this is a bad idea.
I had an old fashioned maybe Bullet 10 last week.
Oh,
it was so good.
The 10 is very, very good. It's amazing. If you want a really good old fashioned, though, you have to use rye. Rye is where it's at.
Oh,
That's what you
Dad's
really
Hat.
need.
Yeah,
Dad's Hat is Pennsylvania.
That's whiskey,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, that is whiskey.
I've met the guy that owns that
Pappy
thing.
Van Winkle.
Pappy Van Winkle is one of the most sought after bottle there is. It's from Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace Distillery. If you can find a bottle, probably about $2,300.
No,
Have you ever had it?
I have not, but my brother-in-law did pay $160 for a 2-ounce shot of it.
That's disgusting.
It is.
Wow.
It is very disgusting. I would never.
Wow.
There's way
He
too
says
many.
now. Wait for it. We're all following you and watching you on Instagram. Let's all take bets. How
And
long
YouTube.
till he pays that much to have a 2-ounce
Oh.
shot of it?
Actually, that would make a really good YouTube video. I paid $120 for a shot of bourbon.
With the super clickbait thumbnail.
Yeah, right.
Totally. I paid how much?
Yeah, that's totally clickbait right there.
I love it.
That'll blow up. Your most viewed video right there. I calling it now.
Probably. Well, gentlemen, one, congratulations to you, Chris, for winning the tickets. We're glad that you made it. Glad that you were able to sit down with us and chat for a little bit. Mike, thank you so much for everything over the years. Looking forward to recording with you in 2 years for this vertical.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah.
And
Do you
God
have
knows-
a date yet, by the way?
No.
Okay, I'm going to be on Dane. Every month I'm going to bug him until you guys have a date.
Yeah, well, it's going to be the beginning of February. Whether it's the first weekend or the second weekend, not sure.
Okay.
It depends on. We always fight about whether we should do it on Super Bowl weekend or not. So
Ooh, I'd say not.
That's why I don't.
Yeah.
We did it this last year, and it was awesome.
Yeah, but it's on a Saturday. It's not like you
It's
do
a
it on
Saturday.
Super Bowl
No.
Sunday,
True.
so what does it matter?
Well, nobody cared about the Super Bowl this year. And it was super boring.
That is true.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It
The
was-
big game. Nobody cared about the big game.
Oh,
this
yeah.
Super boring.
It was
Do I-
it was my team, and
have to
I was on
bleep these
Snapchat
down?
the whole
No.
game. The whole
Fine.
yeah. Nobody cares.
You know what?
The NFL doesn't know about us.
Sue us, NFL. Sue us.
No,
No
don't
publicity
say
is bad
that.
publicity.
And I look forward to 225 being a consistent beer. I don't care what the name is. Just keep making it.
Yep, we will.
We should make a Katy Perry's new song 365. We should make a parody
No.
for 225.
That's you and Rich. That's all up to you guys.
All right.
Cool.
I'm gonna get on this.
We're going to shoot a music video.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Oh yeah. We're
Well,
done.
guys, thank you for coming up to the table.
You
It was
bet.
a pleasure.
Thanks
Have
for
fun
having
out
us.
there the rest of the
Thank
day.
you. All right.
Enjoy.
All right,
Cheers,
thanks.
guys.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
So obviously we're here enjoying the effort at Brewfest.
Obviously.
But right before jumping into recording this, we were reminiscing about a time we drove out to Harrisburg and went to a little brewery that wound up being really cool. And we interviewed 1 million people in that
I feel
episode
like-
because there's like 900 owners. And
You know, it's interesting because as you're telling the story, I feel like you could be talking about a number of places.
that's
actually.
true. That is true.
The exact same thing. We drove out to Harrisburg, little place, got really big and popular. There were 700 people there.
Yeah. The number changed each time we said.
Yep.
But we can only be talking about Boneshire, and we have Ken, who's kind enough to come back up to the table with us. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Oh, doing great. This fest is wonderful. The weather's beautiful. There's great beer flowing. It's a hell of a time. How has the reception been for Boneshire over that way?
Very well. We're growing. He was telling me that our production from last year between January and May, and this year between January and May, over 60% higher production. So,
Wow.
I mean, the beer is moving out.
Oh, that's
we're,
great.
We're having trouble keeping up.
Wow.
So,
Good. Great.
Well, congrats on the growth. I mean, it made sense, and it was only a matter of time that it was going to happen to you guys.
yeah, we're got a lot of beer going out on the market and stuff. So we
Yeah.
have a salesman going around selling to bars, restaurants, and stuff like that. And we actually are contract brewing for Greystone Brewery and Restaurant. So
Oh,
they
cool.
have a place over in Dillsburg that's a golf course, and they're going to be opening the brewery eventually. But right now we're contract brewing for them and also send beer up to their restaurant in Lingelstown.
I feel like that's like a mark that like you've matured and made it as a brewery when you're now helping another new brewery get started.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. You're passing the baton on. How long has Boneshire been around now? It's been
So we've been open 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We got in the space like 3 years ago in May and started building out, and then so it's 2.5 years since we've actually opened the doors.
So I'm about to head out on a big road trip. We're leaving next Saturday, actually. So when this episode releases, Rich and I will be somewhere in the country. But we're going to be visiting my brother this
Even
summer.
if you weren't on a road trip, that would still be true.
I was going to say
Whatever.
it, but I chose not to.
Whatever. We're visiting my brother. My brother lives in New Mexico, and I always, whenever we go out to visit him, I always take a case of beer for him, of beers that I've, collected since the last time I saw him. So, like, I'm taking the Anniversary, the Barrel Aged and the Regular, but one of the beers I'm taking out to him is the Mexican Lazarus.
Oh, nice.
That's one of the PA beers that I want to share with him. So I never forget the first time I've had that beer, and it continues to be one of my favorite PA beers. So I'm excited for him to try it, and I'm anxious to see what he thinks, because he likes dark, high alcohol and preferably spicy beers like I do.
Well,
so
that fits every bill there.
So I'm quite confident that he's going to enjoy that beer very much. But that's in the box, ready to be loaded in the car next week.
Yeah, I think last week we finally sold our last bottles of Mexican Lazarus. So it is stuff out there. I've seen it in other places, but we're out of it actually. So
wow,
such a good beer. Such a good beer.
It's a beer that will sell her really well. Being a big Russian Imperial Stout with the. And I've opened bottles, and the spiciness is still there. It's not going away.
Yes.
Nice.
So speaking of beers, you brought two beers with. So I say we go with the Sunburst first, shall we?
That was the first beer we had today.
Yeah, we may or may not have had
And
a little
it
bit
was
of this
amazing.
early, but
it is definitely worth having more.
This is a very special beer. So Ken, tell us about Sunburst.
So Sunburst was a collaboration done with Sarah Bosich. And, she's a beer blogger, and
she's like the unofficial mayor of Harrisburg,
sort of like,
I think.
Yep.
I think we can call her
is
like
a meet and greet of Harrisburg.
a Central PA media mogul.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yeah. Exactly. She's into everything, and anything that has to do with Harrisburg, you see Sarah's name somewhere in there with it. So her and Jimmy Werner, who started out as her intern.
Yeah, he was intern Jimmy. That was a while ago.
Yep, and now he's still working with her, but he has other jobs, working with Trogs and other places, but he still helps out Sarah. So they both came down, and we brewed this Berliner Weiss together, and then later on Alan added the tangerine and the grapefruit, and when I first had it, it was like, oh man, there's a lot of grapefruit, and I don't taste any Now it's the opposite way. You get the tangerine and a little bit of the grapefruit in the background, and it's such a crushable beer. It's a lawn mowing beer. I describe it. Low alcohol. It's sweet, tart.
This is going to sound really weird, and I apologize.
Oh boy!
No. So the beer obviously is amazing, and I love it. I took a sip of coffee not too long ago. That was still kind of lingering in my mouth. It actually works really fucking well with coffee.
Hold on. Hold on. I cannot imagine this beer tasting good with coffee.
Try.
You want me to literally mix it?
Don't mix it. Take a sip.
No,
take a sip of coffee and then
impromptu punishment.
Oh no.
I liked it. I thought it turned out really well.
Right.
The fruity notes from the beer add a nice kind of. They play well with the bitterness of the coffee.
Yeah.
This is weird, and I know it, and it's impromptu, but I really liked it. The beer obviously is fantastic. Here it is.
The coffee actually, I feel like, cuts out a lot of the tartness from the grapefruit.
But you still get some of that, tangerine.
So it makes it sweeter.
Yeah.
It makes it sweeter and less, tart and, okay.
So he was right. It does work.
It's okay. It's not, it's not
I think you tried it too quickly after the coffee.
It's not 1 + 1 = 3 or anything, but it did change my experience of the beer, and it wasn't terrible.
If anyone else wants to, you can try it with the coffee.
I think we're fine.
So next we
what's the other
have
one?
Green Machine, but it's double dry hopped Green Machine.
Citra and Mosaic, and we can't brew Green Machine double dry hop fast enough.
I believe that.
It's flying out the door, and so we have special labels made up for cans now for our base beers like Green Machine and Devil's Burden, and so. And that one is just going. It's out in the market everywhere, and people just want it right away.
It's really nice.
Ooh.
It is.
I really like Mosaic. I forgot. We've had a few beers that feature Mosaic today, and I forgot how much I really love
this
hop.
It's got a really nice dankness that I just don't get enough
We
anymore.
don't get a lot of dank beers anymore.
No, and I like it. I like the dankness.
Yeah, you get the little bit of the sweetness from the Citra and the dankness from
Yeah.
It's
it sort of comes
well-balanced.
in like that high citrus flavor, and then you get that nice low, almost like sludge metal dankness at the end.
Sludge metal.
That would be a good beer name. Tell Alan, sludge metal dankness.
Sludge metal dankness.
I don't know if you'd want to have the word sludge in your beer name.
Oh, I'm all about it.
I think people would love it.
Yeah. This is a big one, though. If I remember this, looking at your sign earlier, this is like a 7-point-something %.
7.5, I think it is.
Yeah.
And then the Berliner Weiss Sunburst, that's a 3.5. So that's
there you go. So if you go back and forth, you're at 5.5. You're good.
Yeah, that's how that works, right?
Average it out.
Well
Just
balanced.
keep going back and forth.
Or do you add it? Are you over 10 now?
No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. That I know. That I know.
Very nice, very nice. Any new exciting things coming up in the world of Boneshire?
Like I said, we're trying
Brewing
to keep
more
up.
beer.
Trying to keep up.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
That's
it. It just as fast as we brew Green Machine, it's gone. Like we brewed it only like 2 weeks ago, and it was gone. We had to brew another batch, and it's like we could probably keep one fermenter just constantly filled with Green Machine, and once it's done fermenting, empty it out, put it in the bright tank, get that going, and start another batch. And
it's great to hit on that one beer that everybody goes crazy over. But the tough part, I think, then is converting them into be like, well, we make these bajillion other good beers, so try those too. So hopefully the Green Machine fans will also appreciate your other array.
You need
of
the
beers.
beer that pays the bills.
Yeah, but especially the Lazarus, the series, and all the cool things you guys do with that.
So we're going to be brewing another batch of Lazarus soon. What soon is, I don't know, because he doesn't really.
Does anybody really know what soon means?
What time it is?
And whether he's going to keep it all just Lazarus, he's going to do some of it Mexican, some of it he does coffee, Dark of the Forest.
Oh,
one.
That's a good one.
So,
that's a good one. I've had that. Yeah.
All right, well, Ken,
exciting.
please send our love back to all the Boneshire peeps.
I will.
You need to individually hug every one of them for us.
And thanks for having me here to talk about our beers.
Yeah, always.
Thank you for coming up to the table.
So.
It's always a pleasure to talk to anybody and everybody from Boneshire. Your beers
we
are
love
fantastic. You guys are amazing people. Give Blue as much shit as you can for me. And of course, enjoy the rest of your day here. This fest is great.
You too, also, and it's great seeing you guys.
Oh, likewise.
Thanks,
You too,
Ken.
man. Cheers. Thanks.
Say, Yvonne, remember when I said I'd have to send away to NASA to calculate your bar tab?
Oh, yeah. We all had a good laugh, Mo.
The results came back today. You owe me $70 billion.
This episode is brought to you by Quip. What's Quip, you ask? Well, Quip is modern oral care brand that designs beautifully simple electronic toothbrushes. They're going to deliver affordable brush heads every 3 months on a dentist-recommended schedule to you. That way you don't forget to replace your toothbrush and you end up using that little crummy, bristles or worn-out toothbrush that the dentist gave you a year ago. They're going to tell you when you need a new one, and they're going to get it delivered to your door. They partnered with dentists to translate all of the dental mumble jumbo into pretty straightforward oral care tips that you will understand. There are smart accessories, like they have a press wall mount that attaches to any glossy surface, and it detaches pretty easily too, so you can just move it around as you see fit, wherever you want your toothbrush to be. And they have toothpaste tubes that provide a guide on how much to use, so you're not overdoing it or underdoing it. And they've got a 2-minute timer on the brush to make sure that you don't shortchange yourself and end up with a dirty mouth. To find out more and revolutionize your mouth, head over to tryquip.com/beerbusters, and you're going to get a free $10 refill. Again, that's tryquip.com/beerbusters.
We will blow the breeze.
You will blow the breeze.
You can count on it.
We will suck the wind.
Suck the wind right out of you, buddy.
Speaking of sucking wind,
let's suck.
Let's suck. We got Tommy and newcomer Adam from Neshaminy Creek.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Tommy.
This is Tommy. Yellow. That's
What's
Adam.
Up? What's up? And together we are
Tatum.
Tatum.
It's the Adam Show.
Tatum. Yeah. So, Tommy, we've known forever. You've been around. I'm sure our listeners have heard your voice here and there and everywhere. You were definitely in the background at Stouts.
Yes, I was very loud.
Yes.
Rewind that episode and listen very carefully.
You can hear, yes. You're like the podcast goblin in the background.
Well, and Adam was in the background at the Leadercrons, but
yeah, it's true.
he snuck out before we
I
could get
did.
him
I
on the
bailed
mic.
on you
But
guys, real quick.
you still contributed something very, very,
You
very
left us
valuable
cans.
to the show. You left all those cans for us, and they were amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Donate some beer.
Yes.
Yeah, we will.
what matters.
We will always, in exchange for your presence, we will just take beer. That's fine.
I'll remember that.
So I do have to say, I think it was it? I think it was last year at this fest, or may have been the year before. So every year at the Ephrata Brewfest, this is the first time we're recording here, but we've been here every year, and we usually I just have a stand selling T-shirts. And I've always walked around and shot a bunch of photos, and we put a photo gallery on our website every year after the fest. One of my favorite pictures I ever took here was of you, Tommy.
Nice.
Holding, I forget what the bottle you were holding, but you were presenting this bottle of beer to us.
Oh yeah, it was a bottle of St. Benjamin Yardarm, I believe.
I think it was. Yes, and it's one of my favorite pictures ever.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
I don't even think we've mentioned that Adam and Tommy are here today representing Neshaminy Creek.
I did say that.
You can say
Did
it
we
again.
say it?
You can say it.
I was very distracted by the wind blowing the shirts.
Nesh Creek deep, bruh.
Well done. They're bringing all the John to the table.
Yes, absolutely.
John's up in here.
Yeah. Well, you
All
brought
up in the
what?
John.
Just tapped it.
Is this Croydon Cream Ale?
Yes.
Yeah, we just kicked
Our
that
American
one, actually.
lawnmower beer, made with little bits of John Deere tractor.
Yes, we grind up Husqvarna, John Doe.
Perfect.
Adds to the metallic flavor.
It really comes through.
There is no metallic flavor in that beer.
yeah.
Don't say that.
Don't say that.
Don't say that. That beer is clean and delightful and delicious.
The diesel that was in the tractor.
Yeah,
that totally.
Two-stroke. Thank you.
Oh.
Glad you
Also
noticed it.
in the aroma.
Light, easy drinker.
No, it's really nice.
Now you want to cut your grass, right?
I do. I don't have grass to cut though.
I'd rather pay someone
Go
to cut
weed
my
whack
grass.
somebody else's.
Yeah. I'm gonna wax the concrete.
Well, we do still have vegetation in the back.
Well, it's not supposed to be there.
It's not supposed to.
So, Adam, since this is your first time sitting down at the microphone, why don't you tell our lovely listeners exactly what your role at Neshaminy is and how you ended up becoming part of that family?
Resident beer jerk
All
for
right, fair.
Neshaminy Creek.
All right.
So, been with them for 3.5 years. Little known fact that I don't think gets a lot of press with Neshaminy Creek is if you're not overly familiar with us, we're a big punk rock brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've attended a few punk rock shows at Neshaminy Creek.
Yeah.
And that all stems from Jeremy, one of our co-owners, being in the scene for a very long time. He still runs a indie record label called Jumpstart Records, putting out records forever. And that's my connection to the brewery. I've known Jeremy since I was 18 years old. He put out my band's records. And
Oh, how cool.
fast forward, punk rock doesn't pay the bills, and
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be punk if it did.
Touche.
Bang.
Touche.
Yeah, so fast forward, kept running into him at homebrew competitions, being a certified BJCP judge. So, and with the history, he's like, hey, I need a sales rep in your area. What do you think? Like, fuck yeah, get me away from selling insurance.
Nice.
And here I am.
I think my favorite last call episode of our podcast ever was with Jeremy at Neshaminy Creek. And I'm not going to say why, because you have to pay $1 a month to figure out what that shit is.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
that was,
Give us money.
That was my favorite last call ever.
Always a good time. Love Neshaminy
Patrons
Creek.
will know why.
I love the punk rock. Is your band still together?
No,
that's long gone. I was going to say you plug your band, but they don't exist anymore. Okay, fair enough.
Wah, wah.
A fun story, actually. Adam and I met at Neshaminy Creek on Adam's first day, which was actually like my second or third day when I was with Bella Vista.
Oh,
So
okay.
we were introduced to the craft beer sales scene at the same time, roughly.
Yeah, and Tommy freaked me the fuck out because
He does that.
This is a great story.
I had
You
no.
just stop there and people understand. Yeah.
I had no clue who this dude was. He comes right over to me. He's like, "Yo, you like guns?"
And then
I'm like, "Huh?"
then what did I suggest we
guess.
do?
And then you're like, "Well, we should, on our ride along, we should do some drive-bys." I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's very Tommy.
Yeah.
I was nervous. I was scared of the guy for a little while.
Still slightly terrified.
Yeah, a little
That's
bit.
how Tommy likes it. He wants everyone to be just a little
Yeah, a little on
terrified of
edge.
him. A little
Yeah.
unsure when they're around him. Fair enough.
Oh my God.
Raison
That's-
d'etre.
Yeah.
What else did you bring to the table?
We got Frühstück Stout, our German breakfast stout brewed with French roast coffee and a shit ton of chocolate.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
10%er, big boy.
Hey, hey now.
I think this is our first dark beer of the day.
It's like
there's not a lot of those here, and there's not a lot of high ABV beers here.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a chill outdoor summer fest. So you're going to get a lot of the fruit beers, the wheat beers, of course, the
Right.
IPA. Everybody wants the IPAs, lagers because it's Pennsylvania.
Of course.
I support that. Bring me
I'm
all the
supported as well.
lagers.
Kicked pretty quick. It's almost like black cold pressed coffee.
Oh, yeah, delicious.
Smells amazing.
Got a lot of good feedback from it too. A lot of
Good.
people coming up saying it's one of their favorite beers from the event.
Ooh.
Well, no
I'll
one
take it.
else is pouring anything like this today.
I'll give you my feedback in a second.
Sorry,
We're taking too long.
We were hoarding it. That's
it's
really
not
nice.
a beer that you just take one sip of.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Wow.
roastiness with the chocolate, a little vanilla maybe.
And it's nice and thick, too.
Yeah, and it is, yeah.
Oh, my God. That's really
It's
good.
also our second beer with an umlaut today.
Oh, what's an umlaut?
Who else had an umlaut?
The beer called What's an Umlaut?
All right.
Umlaut stout. Oh, somebody used
Ooh,
that.
the longer that beer sticks around, there's like more chocolate coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Long after the fact. Oh, my God. That's
really nice.
That's great.
That's one of those beers you could like reduce down into a syrup.
Oh.
Ice cream, that'd be really good.
Yeah, that would be good with venison.
Yeah, there you go.
Jesus
Of course.
Christ.
Of course.
Always got to put meat on things.
Well, I mean,
that always helps.
Meat or cheese.
Yep.
Meat, cheese, and guns.
This would probably be really good in a barrel of sorts.
We've done it.
The Tommy Killjack Hour. Meat, cheese, and guns.
We've barrel aged that.
Yeah.
There's a barrel aged version we do at the brewery.
All right.
Have you done like firkins with like? Feels like a firkin kind of a beer too. Like you can throw some crazy shit in there.
I
It
haven't
already
done any
has
personally,
some
but
crazy shit.
That's
Oh,
true,
you could put
yeah.
some spicy peppers in it, though.
Jesus.
Oh, I like that idea.
Some chipotle.
Cinnamon?
And cinnamon.
Actually, Werther's Originals.
No.
Oh,
I think that'd be
Or
good.
just a little bit of butterscotch otherwise.
Luden's Fall Drops.
Luden's Fall Drops.
The candy of our generation.
Balls.
Yeah.
Say balls.
Balls. Balls. Eucalyptus.
Just balls.
Yeah, balls.
Just teabag the beer.
Those are balls.
venison balls.
Those are balls.
Man, things got crazy.
So anything exciting coming up at Neshaminy?
We are the official sponsor of this year's Warped Tour in Atlantic City.
That's
official
awesome.
beer.
Oh, that's right.
Really
That's next
cool.
week.
Yeah.
Yep.
As of
Perfect.
recording.
I saw that online.
That's awesome. We brewed a beer specifically for it.
Oh,
So you got to go. You got to go to Warped Tour to
but
get your
it's
hands
sold
on it.
out. I want to go, but it's
There's
sold
something
out.
called
Hey.
StubHub.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't want to
you
spend
gotta-
that much money.
That's fair.
You could ask the brewery. Maybe they'll.
I mean, I could pour for you.
We could pull some strings.
You don't have to pay me. Just let me go see like 4 bands.
Well, what is the beer?
It is a American wheat.
Okay.
Nice. That's a good festival beer.
You really sold it there.
I know. Thanks. It's my job.
It's a little bit of movie beer, man. It's an American wheat.
Fuck. I don't. Honestly, I don't know much about it.
Okay.
It's a
Mysterious.
secret American
it's-
wheat.
yeah, it's-
with a subtle hint of
Go to our
lemon.
website.
Go to our website.
It's metal.
Yeah, we have that. We just did. Just released a beer with Pizza Boy, Hazy Fuckboy
cool.
Juice.
Hazy
that's the name.
How did that pass? How do you get
Well,
that
it's-
there?
it's not
passed
labeled,
TTB.
right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It's
it is?
passed
Yeah.
TTB and state and federal. It
That
passed.
shit's on Facebook, bro.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I don't know how.
What is it
Wow.
called?
Hazy Fuckboy Juice.
This is in this kind of
You know what's
government.
interesting? It's one of those names where you can say it 2 different ways: hazy fuckboy juice or hazy fuck boy juice.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, it's the fuck and the boy are all smashed together, and the boy is spelled with an I. So
Okay. So somehow that's okay.
I have no idea how they pulled that off.
Wow.
But
Wow.
Maybe they just didn't realize it.
Yeah, they thought it was some German name.
No way.
Fuckboy.
You should put
It
an
probably
umlaut
came. It
over
came in like the day before like a holiday weekend. It's just like whatever.
Yeah.
pills, oat, spelt malt, flaked oats, some lactose, dry hop to high hell with Amarillo, Mosaic, Simcoe, and whole melon.
And fuckboy.
And fuckboys.
Juice.
Wow.
Very exciting.
Sounds like a beer I would not like.
By the way, Warped Tour tickets $157 are the cheapest on
That's
sale.
actually not
Who's,
bad.
who's going to be at that Warped Tour? Who's playing?
The ones I want to see are Thrice the Menzingers,
Oh, the Menzingers are gonna be
The
there?
Offspring,
That's cool.
and Blink-182, and they're doing all of Enema of the State.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Oh, shit.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We saw the Menzingers at Neshaminy.
Yes,
that
we
was
did.
a fucking
Sweet.
awesome show.
That was great.
That was really great. It's so cool to see like an awesome punk band in a fucking like there's like fermenters behind us, and where there's like
Hell yeah.
people moshing in front of us. Like it was so cool.
And we intentionally keep the size of those shows down, like under 500 people.
Yeah.
So we can get up close and personal with some of your favorite bands, whereas
Yeah.
then you'd normally be at a 3,000, 4,000 capacity venue and your ass is to elbow.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. I mean, if not for the beer, go to the brewery just for the shows. I mean, it's such a cool place to see a band.
But also go for the beer.
Who else have you guys had? You did. There was Bouncing Souls were there.
We did Bouncing Souls. We did Suicide Machines one year. We've had Andrew WK.
No way.
Yep, that was years back. Strike Anywhere we had recently. We just had Dave House from the Loved Ones. Anybody know the singer from Avail? I can't think of the name off the top of my head.
I don't think I do.
We have Sick of It All, Municipal Waste coming up.
Ooh.
And Napalm Death.
Nice.
Napalm Death. Wow.
That is amazing.
Wow.
Hell yeah. That's, when is that? I don't know the date on that.
Some
Municipal
point.
Waste is dope.
Check our Facebook
Yeah,
page.
check their website.
Yeah.
Some point in the future.
Trend Punk Rock Flea Market coming up August 10th as well.
Yeah.
Those are fun. Those are good times. We've gone to a few at Love City and at Root Down. Cool, weird shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of weird vendors, food, stuff for the kids, traumatize them.
Don't you guys do a Jeep event?
Who, what?
Don't you do a Jeep event?
A Jeep event?
Yeah. Isn't there like a Jeep meetup there too? No?
I don't know. I'm going to go with check our website.
Absolutely. Check Facebook for details.
Yeah, right.
Check our social media.
I think Tommy wants you guys to do a Jeep event. I'm just going to put that out there. Jamie. I just called you Jamie.
Wow. What? Okay, wow.
Tommy
Things are falling apart.
wants a Jeep event because Tommy has a Jeep.
Oh, that makes sense. Jeeps and guns. We
Jeeps
should
and
do
guns.
a Jeep and gun event.
And meat.
And
Jeeps
meat.
and
meat.
drive-bys.
Guns.
Yeah. And cheese.
Venison drive-bys.
Meat, cheese, and guns. I'm writing that down.
Meat, cheese,
Oh,
and
good
guns.
Lord. Well, on that note, gentlemen, thank you for coming up to the table. Always cool to see anybody from the Neshaminy Creek. You guys are all awesome. Tommy, great to
Appreciate
see you
it.
as well.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Seriously, let me know about Warped Tour. I will gladly pour for you. I'm kidding, half.
He's not kidding.
But seriously, thank you for coming up to the table. The beers are great. It's always a lot of fun. You guys are awesome.
Appreciate
Yes.
it.
Thank you for having
Cool.
us.
Bye, guys.
Cheers. Well, this is exciting. All the times we've been to Ephrata Brewfest and other events around, we've seen the next brewery around, but we've never gotten to talk to anyone from there. But that changes today because we have joining us from Mount Gretna, we have Brad. How are you?
Very, very well. Loving today.
Yeah, man, this is great.
Yeah, this is an awesome fest. Great weather today.
Can it just be like this weather every single day ever?
I'd be okay with that.
We need at least a couple weeks.
Yeah, I would take this weather every day, but I do need like chilly and cloudy and rainy every once in a while.
To appreciate this?
Yeah, no, I like gloomy weather.
You're only
as well.
happy when it rains?
I'm only happy when it
I want
rains.
2 weeks of drying out.
I know. We've
That's
had
fair.
so much rain.
Yeah, that's true.
There's
That's
nowhere
true.
for it to go.
Yeah.
Plus, I want my patio to be open more.
That's fair. That's fair. So, Brad, you are one of the owners of Mount Gretna. How long has Mount Gretna been around?
We are coming up on 2 years.
2 years, wow.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
where exactly are you located?
We are on the corner of Route 322 and 117 in Campbelltown.
Okay.
So we're basically about 5 miles outside of Hershey and about 5 miles outside of Mount Gretna, which is our namesake.
Right.
And you guys also have coffee there too, right?
Yeah,
It's
so
also like a coffee house.
Yeah, when we first bought the location and we were looking at the layout and the space, it made sense to have a coffee shop there. We roast our own coffee right on in house right there too, so it kind of goes along with the craft experience that we try to deliver. So we can capture all the morning traffic going into Hershey Med Center, Hershey Company with the coffee. It was a good complement for us, and then it transitioned then in the afternoon to the brew pub side.
Oh, that's cool.
I think that beer and coffee go fantastic together.
Yes,
so
they do.
I'm very supportive whenever someone wants to put those two things together in their business plan.
Did an episode at Stolen Sun, which is kind of a similar concept. They do the coffee roasting, serving the coffee, and then also the brew pub. And, it's cool. I like the coffee shop vibe and the brew pub or like tap room vibe kind of mesh really well, and it does give you something to serve earlier in the day as well. And then the beer in the evening.
There's so many people that come by, and when you get off the turnpike in Lebanon, where we're at, there's nothing until you get into Hershey from that direction. So like, let's offer something to people that they want and need. We have the ability to do it, and our roaster does a fantastic job. And it's a really great little addition to us. It's a nice differentiator.
How early do you guys open in the
We
morning?
open at 7.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow!
And when do you start serving beer?
We start serving beer at 11.
11.
Yeah.
I really wish you said 7.
I know, right?
Obviously.
You know what? We got a petition, to have the beer laws changed a little bit for brewery licenses. But,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
10 o'clock is the earliest I can serve beer, and we open at 10 on Sundays for our brunch. But every other day it's 11 o'clock. Yeah, and we go open until 10. We're open until 10 in the evening every night.
Cool.
Very cool.
Cool.
So let's drink beer. Should we do the cherry first or the IPA first?
Let's do the cherry.
Okay.
That's what I'm drinking right now.
Yeah.
This is the cherry, right? Yes.
Yep.
I can proast you
Really?
too.
I mean,
Proast.
That was so sad. He was like,
Yeah, okay. And then as you're like a centimeter away, you pull it away. Nice.
That's like when you go for a handshake and the other person doesn't notice.
Right, yeah.
Oh, so awkward.
So this is the Belgian cherry wheat.
Belgian cherry wheat. So my thoughts on this when I came up with this about a year and a half ago were to get something closer to that sour style. So it's not sour; it's tart, with a little bit of that cherry flavor to pull through in that that summer refreshing lighter beer style. The wheat just seemed to be a good combination for it. But the Belgians, I just love Belgian beers. They're my favorite beers to drink. They're my favorite beers to make. So the combination of the Belgian, the wheat, the cherry, just all seemed to play in my head like that sounds like a great beer. I'm going to make that. And I didn't really tweak it that much. I did a couple different versions of it. I landed on the spot that we're at now, and I'm really happy with where we're at. We get a really good response with this beer.
Oh, that's delicious.
It's got a nice tartness to it. And, I feel like I'm thinking about it now, like, I don't know that we've been to a lot of places recently that do Belgian-style beers. I feel like it was a thing for a little while.
Yeah.
Everybody, obviously, IPAs, hazy IPAs are the thing, and we're like super on the train of like make lagers and traditional styles cool again. But I haven't had other than like Weyerbacher is obviously really known for their Belgian styles, but I feel like it's not. It's just not around as much. I don't know. We just haven't come into contact.
It's not. I mean, I feel like most places at least do a Belgian maybe more out of courtesy than anything.
Yeah, like a token Belgian.
Yeah. And that's fine. I really, there's not a time when I don't have a Belgian beer on, whether it's our double or our triple. There's something of a Belgian nature on, Saison, something that we have. We have a couple. Today we're doing a Low Country boil and a crawfish Saison today.
Crawfish.
Rin with some. It's a really great little beer. It's a fun little beer for a sunny afternoon. But again, it's one of my favorite things to do. I like the IPAs, and I like the blondes and the pilsners and all the different things that we do. But Belgians just have a special place in my heart, and I really enjoy making them and drinking them.
You got to brew the stuff you like.
That's exactly true. And cherries, cherries just lend themselves so well to Belgian style beers.
They really, really do.
And what's the ABV on this?
It is 5.2.
Okay, I always get scared with Belgian beers.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
A low. It tastes like it's higher.
Yeah, you get that that candy yeasty like Belgian thing, and every time I taste that, I'm like, this probably has a lot of alcohol in it.
Yeah, no, this one doesn't. Now our double and our triple.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We're gonna creep up a little bit. Yeah.
All right, so the next one is the tailgate sipper.
Yeah, tailgate. No, not the tailgate sipper.
Oh.
The Gretna Lake sipper.
The Gretna Lake sipper. See, that's what I thought you said, and then I went on Untapped and I saw tailgate, and I was like, oh, maybe
That's a different one,
I heard him wrong. Now I got to change it again.
Yeah,
Gretna.
our tailgate sipper is a Galaxy Ford beer, more traditional American style. This is the Gretna Lake sipper. It's not made with Gretna Lake water. It may look like it because it's nice hazy IPA. This one was, this was born out of the necessity to, stay with the trends of the IPA. And I go back and forth. There's the faction that says, hey, I really like the haziness. I really want it cloudy. And there's the faction that says, hey, it doesn't have to be very, very cloudy. It just has to be that burst of hop flavor and hop aroma. And I'm kind of teetering on the middle edge of that whole thing, where a little bit of haziness, but more of that hop aroma is where I'm trying to drive towards.
Right.
There's a really good like a lemony, citrusy, or like a lemongrass almost kind of flavor in the background that I really like out of that.
Yeah, it's a nice beer. We have a mango hazy IPA also. Ooh. That's in the tanks right now. That'll be out by next weekend. That one doesn't last very long.
I was going to say, that's got to be what all the kids are buying.
Yeah. That's a very, very popular beer. When that's on, like I said, it doesn't last long. It's a great beer.
Yeah.
But and they're my two primary hazy IPAs that we put out.
Yeah, I really like this, and I like the hop character of it. And and apologies, you're new to the podcast, you don't know our pedigree, but we're very harsh on this style.
It's a style that you can be.
Yeah, well,
right.
And it's, I've had ones that I've really liked, and I've had ones that I really don't like. It's just annoying that it's all that anybody wants to talk about. But this one, I'm drinking this one, and I feel like if you took this same beer but made it more of like a clear, sort of like throwback, crisper IPA, could really be cool. I maybe because I'm an old man, like that the sort of pillowy softness to it makes it like, I feel like I would like this better if it was a crisp clear.
And that could be a nice little variation on it too.
Yeah, but looking through your Untapped, it looks like you do a variety of different IPAs.
We do.
You have the Session in there. You have a bunch of other kinds. So
yeah, we have a couple different doubles.
maybe there's something there you'd like better.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Our flagship is our Chickies Creek. We have 2 different double IPAs, which are very popular. The Flight Path, in particular, is a really popular beer for us. We try to, like we were talking about earlier, you brew what you like. And I'm very much a traditionalist in that sensation. I brew what I like to drink, knowing that I'm the epitome of the craft beer drinker. So if I like it, I know that a lot of people are going to like the same style, same kind of beer. But you always have those different beers that maybe I'm not a big fan of, and that's fine. But I'll brew it because I know that's what our people want, and they like that, and that's great. And I'm happy to do that. But I like the traditional style beers. I like the clear, the crisp. Those are the things I gravitate myself towards when I go towards.
So what's the ABV of this one?
The Ephrata Lake?
Yeah.
That's 6.
6.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, I've made 2 or 3 rounds here today.
Yeah, 6-ish.
I might be a little.
I mean, it's not 10, right?
Right.
So,
No.
we're fine. That's cool. I would be really excited, and I think we should talk about coming out and doing a full podcast with you.
For sure.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, to get back into somebody who's really into Belgians, I mean, that'd be cool. It's not something we talk about a lot in a while. Saisons.
It's so funny though. I travel a lot, and I think that's something that's specific to this area.
Yeah.
Like the whole and the Philly area itself you could talk about, and then even like just the northeast mid-Atlantic area. It's very different here than it is in other parts of the country as far as
the beer
selections.
That are popular. Huh.
Yeah. Like we were just in up in New York near the Finger Lakes. Every brewery I went to had a brown ale on.
Oh, really?
And I was in heaven. I was like, no one makes brown ales anymore.
They really
near
don't.
Us.
Yeah.
So that was really exciting to me. And it's just we're so absorbed in this area and the way that the tap lifts are and the beers that people are brewing in this area that it's not like that everywhere.
Yeah. You don't necessarily.
Well, in about a month we'll have our Rail Trail Brown Ale out, so you have to come up and visit us.
Yeah, definitely.
The sales of that benefit our local Lebanon County Rail Trail, which is
that's cool.
A nice little benefit to our local community.
Oh, that's awesome.
Good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
super cool.
It's one of our, not our mainstay, but we either go back and forth between our Iron Master Stout and our Rail Trail Brown as our one darker tap that we keep on all year long.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it was really cool to finally meet you and sit down with you. I really liked that cherry.
Yeah, that was great.
That's right.
That was super good. And I can't wait to come out.
Sorry, guys, it's gone. I just finished it.
It's perfect on a nice, hot, warm day like this one.
Yeah.
It's a good, refreshing beer to have.
Yeah, definitely.
Very much so.
I love the variety of beers that we're having today. Not everyone has the same thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
going
variety,
on.
so that makes me very happy.
Another reason this is such a great fest. Have you been to this fest? I know we saw you at least last year.
I think last year.
We were here last year.
Yeah.
Okay, but is that the first time last year?
Our first was last year.
It was last year.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
great fest. This is a great event.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Super
The response has been great. The crowd's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
You can't ask for a better day.
Yeah. The wind feels really nice, but it keeps blowing shit all over the place.
Yeah, I was about to get them, but Rich is to the rescue. Our shirts are blowing around.
Our T-shirts are going to blow down the street.
People buy our shirts.
Buy our shirts so we don't have to fix them.
Right.
That's Rich. Yeah, Rich is going to throw them out.
Well, Brad,
course.
hey, thanks so much for sitting down with us.
appreciate it. Absolutely.
We look forward to getting out and doing like a proper full-on
Yes,
episode
for
with
sure.
you.
Yeah.
That'd be
That'd
awesome.
be fantastic. Love
Yeah.
to have you guys out.
Cool. Yeah, definitely.
Anytime.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Cheers, man.
Joining us at the table now, we have new friends from Twisted Vine Beer Co. We got Jamie and Greg. Gentlemen, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you guys for coming up to the table.
Lovely June weather.
Appreciate it. Yeah, this day is great.
This could be way worse. It could be 95.
Yeah. Could be 95,
and
could
humid.
be raining, could be humid. Yeah. This is the perfect day for the perfect event.
Could be Sharknado.
No, I have to
Sharknado.
I have to admit, I'm not super familiar with Twisted Vine. Where are you guys located?
We're in Mount Joy, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
We've only been open since last July, so that's probably why you haven't heard of us.
Cool. Well, you're coming up on your first anniversary.
Yep.
That's great. Congratulations on
Yep.
that.
Thank you. Always exciting.
Yeah.
Anniversaries.
Do you have an event?
We will.
I
yeah.
feel like that's
At
the
end of July, we will.
expectation.
Sure. Yeah,
when it's your
yeah.
anniversary, you have to throw a big thing.
We've been planning
That's
the
true.
special beers, hopefully some special T-shirts that we give out.
Nice. Cool.
Some
Other
special
music.
door prizes, maybe music. We're trying to get there.
Nice.
That would be awesome.
So check their socials
Yeah.
for all the details.
That's right.
Absolutely. Keep an eye out.
That's
So,
right.
are you guys owners, founders?
So I'm the owner, and he's the brewer,
brewer,
/ IT
okay.
guy / general maintenance guy
Whoa,
I know, it's-
Whoa,
yeah, that's
whoa.
rare.
Hold on. A brewer and an IT guy?
Brewer that appreciates
Usually
technology.
brewers are not good with technology.
How did you manage to find a brewer that knows IT? How do you know how to do IT and brew beer?
They have the internet.
I mean, look, the beer thing was just a hobby for so long, but IT's always been my job. So,
wow, that's right. That's the job that really pays them.
That's right.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm really cheap.
So what inspired you to found a brewery?
So I knew you were going to ask me that question ever since the gentleman came up, and we get this question a lot. And the real honest to God truth is it was a drunken idea that we actually took forward.
Nice.
A lot of those, they die out the next day when you wake up and go, I don't even remember what we thought or whatever we talked about. But
Right.
in this particular case, we did.
I'm willing the T-shirts to stay on the table.
Oh yeah, they're
I'm
gonna
using my
blow away.
Jedi mind
I thought you were
force.
telling me to be quiet. So
No.
You know how long
So
we've been
far, so
trying to
good.
sell those shirts. If they blow away, it's fine.
I mean, that's sort of how I've been looking at it.
The funny thing is that's not the first time we've heard that on this
No.
podcast.
Well, you need certain things too. So my wife's an accountant, and we're really bad at math in general. So that really helped the business plan process out significantly.
Right.
Without her, we probably just are still looking at each other at home.
Right.
To be honest,
you've got an accountant, you've got an IT guy, you got a brewer. So what do you do?
I work for a vaccines company in my real job.
Oh, okay. So you actually do good for mankind.
I
and then
try.
You make beer, and then you make beer as well.
We're a little under fire recently, but
yeah, well,
I'm not going to get into that. That's a different
That's a
podcast.
different
That's a different podcast.
Whole different thing.
This is not NPR.
But thank you for your service.
Yeah. You should say that to him. He was a Marine.
Okay.
Genuinely, thank you for yours.
Thank you.
So you guys brought a couple of beers. So before we talk even more about your brewery, let's decide if we like your beer first.
Yeah.
Well, great. We already
What do you
picked
want
the
us to
one that
drink
was the better
first?
one. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Whichever one you want.
It's unfortunate.
Let's get this one over with.
Yeah, that's already kicked. So that's the Belgian wit.
Oh, this is the other Belgian.
Now,
Ooh.
we do serve it,
I like it.
sometimes with an orange at the brewery. We thought about cutting up little oranges and bringing them, but we
No,
thought
no,
that's
no,
just
no.
going to turn into a whole fiasco in the road.
You
It's
made
a
the
good
right
thought,
decision.
but yeah, that's the right call.
Yeah.
People have to pay for the beer in order for you to do shit like that.
Ooh,
That's
like
a
if
good
this
point.
was like a music fest and they were coming up and giving you $5
Yeah.
for like
Yeah.
12 ounces of your beer, then you put an orange in
Right.
it.
I like that.
It's a very solid point.
It's got like a nice, crisp, citrusy finish on it. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
And it's got like that malty that wheat cloudiness up front. Mm-hmm. Really good sipper for a day like this.
Good. I'm glad you guys like it.
What's its ABV?
5.3.
Yeah,
All
that one's
right.
5.3.
Nice and easy.
The
All right,
other
so
one,
we've decided we like your beer. So
The other one is the Session, and that is that's 4.8. And I guess that's the last beer. So if you don't like it, we got both beers in, right?
we did our best. Yeah.
Here's the other one.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, what kind of styles of beers do you gravitate towards brewing? What style of beers do you guys gravitate towards drinking yourselves?
So I gravitate towards the New England style IPAs, the stouts, porters, kind of things. My brother-in-law, who's not with us today, he's a classic style brewer, so he does those Belgians. He looks at Hefeweizens, Pilsners, and lagers and things like that. So when we went into this, we always said we wanted to have a well-rounded tap menu, right? A tap list. We didn't want to just have 4 New Englands
7
on,
New England
whatever.
IPAs.
Right.
Yeah.
So we
Even
balance
though
that
you
out
could
all
probably
up and
be
down.
millionaires overnight if you did that.
I mean, it's very possible. But
I'm going to write that down, actually.
Yeah,
That's a good
right.
point.
you got to take into consideration Mount Joy and the clientele that you're serving too.
Right,
Our pilsners and lagers sell
better than
way
anything
better
else.
than anything else
Good.
out there, right?
Yeah. It's good to hear.
So
My people up
It's
there.
not very often you hear that. That's great.
Well, I mean, usually there's only one on, and we have 4 IPAs on, so they sort of even themselves out. But yeah, we can't keep them there.
Yeah.
So
These are both good. These are both great, actually. So I think,
Thank you.
yeah, this was a good call having you guys on.
appreciate that. Have you guys not liked a beer today? I just
No.
want to.
Actually,
okay,
no.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to gauge that. So that was really we were really lucky then.
That's right.
We're really not that judgmental. I was just being an ass.
By now, if you've been drinking beer all day, you should love every one of them.
True.
That's true. They do get better throughout the day. So, your guys' location, tap room. Do you guys do food?
Yeah, we have everything that you need. We have we put in 2 garage doors and put screens on them.
Oh, cool.
So it keeps the insects out.
But the fresh air keeps going. That's great.
Yeah. Well, we tried it in March without the screens on one of the warm days, and it was fly town in there. So
That's no
we closed them up, so now you can get the fresh air without dealing with Mount Joy flies, which is nice. Yeah.
The Mount Joy flies.
Famously deadly
Mount
Joy flies.
and aggressive. They're aggressive this time of year.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. So like pub food, or do you guys do like more of a restaurant? Okay.
There's burgers, fries, salads, wraps,
all that kind of stuff,
egg
right.
rolls.
Egg rolls.
Egg rolls with jalapenos in them.
Whoa.
Hey, too bad
cheese.
Steph's got up to sell T-shirts.
Yeah,
She'd
I
be
know.
all about that.
Yeah, she's all about peppers and jalapenos and whatnot.
Yeah.
Do you guys do any distribution, any packaging, any canning, any bottles, anything like that yet?
No, it's straight up tap room. We're at the Lancaster Barnstormers, but other than that, that's the only place you can get our beer is places like this or at the tap room.
Nice.
For now, at least.
For now, right.
Hopefully someday down the line we expand that out a little bit, but for now we're keeping it centralized.
Yeah.
So in your first almost year, has things been good? The community's kind of taken to you.
Yeah, we
regulars?
couldn't be. I mean, we're really thankful for Mount Joy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the consistency is nice that they provide us, and yeah, they like pilsners and lagers and all kinds of different stuff. So that's the other great thing too.
That's cool.
It's a good drinking town.
Yeah. What days are you open?
Thursday through Sunday.
Okay.
Wednesday through Sunday.
Sorry, did I say Thursday?
Wednesday through Sunday.
Sorry.
All right. So give yourself Monday and Tuesday.
IT guy.
Yeah.
And general other. Wednesday is just 4 to 8. Thursday 4 to 10. Friday and Saturday 11:30 to 11. Sunday 11:30 to 8.
Oh, that's not bad. Those are good hours.
And then Monday, Tuesday we transfer beers and clean and stuff.
It's a work day.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess so.
So are you the sole brewer? Any assistant brewer? Anyone else helping you out? Or you?
Yeah, so my brother-in-law and I are the co-brewers
Right,
for
you
the
mentioned,
system.
yeah,
So with the two of us there, we can alternate our brew days.
His name's Tommy Weber, by the way.
Being that we
Cheers, Tommy.
Yeah.
all have full-time jobs outside of the brewery,
Yeah.
it's been a real big
That's
out.
the craziest thing. Like we all have full-time jobs and we do this podcast. Doing this podcast is not nearly as hard as opening a brewery. When I hear people say, like, I still worked a full-time job the first 2 years that I opened a brewery and then came here at night, brewed the beer, do all those things, I don't know how you guys do it, man.
It's not easy.
You really have to want it to be able to put in that kind of effort.
I will tell you what it does. When you're sitting at home and not doing anything, you suddenly start to feel very bad about it.
Yeah.
Like, you wonder, why am I wasting time? I could be doing something.
Right.
Which is actually kind of annoying because I like my free time.
Right.
But you just keep going.
Goddamn guilt.
I mean, we're doing this because we love it. We love beer, and we love, we love being able to serve it to people. So that's the labor of love.
Yeah. Had you guys done any brewing before this, home brewing or otherwise?
It's home brewer for almost 11 years.
Nice.
Yeah,
cool.
Now, are these recipes that you had done as home brewing that you just kind of brought to the professional world?
So some of them were. Many of them were I'm creating them as we go along,
Nice.
finding things that work, finding things that people are really enjoying.
I imagine it's tempting. Like you get like, okay, now I have like a professional system. I can do all this shit that I couldn't do at home.
It is. It's amazing.
That's where I come in and tell them they can't.
Yeah, like, please chill out. We have to actually sell this.
No, but he just made an investment. We bought a used 1-barrel system on the side, so now we have a little pilot batch thing.
Yeah.
And now I can get a little bit crazier and start throwing some shit at the wall and see what happens.
That's cool.
So how big is your actual production system?
It's 7 barrels.
7 barrel.
So if we make a mistake on that, they get in trouble. So that's why we bought the 1 barrel. Yeah. 1 barrel, we screw it up, we throw it away, nobody gets mad.
Right.
But
7
that's
barrels
why-
is a lot more liquid.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to use the pilot system yet?
Yep, the first time.
Did our first one.
What'd you make on it?
We did a German Roggen beer.
Whoa.
Ooh, nice.
That's a good way to break it in.
Yeah,
why not?
threw a lot of
Old
rye at it.
school,
Yeah.
obscure style.
That's right.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
What other kind of crazy shit do you have in mind for it?
So we're gonna do a series of different Berliners, messing with that and some fruits. I've got a milkshake wheat IPA that I want to try.
That's news to me. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Well, it's been recorded now.
Yeah, I know. Right?
So there's a couple different things out there that we're throwing at it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Tommy came to me with the Roggen beer thing, and I was like, I've never even heard of a Roggen beer. I had to look it up, and he's like, yeah, it's some like ancient German thing, and so we're so far it's tasting pretty decent.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Cool.
It
surprised me a lot.
I think I might have only had 1 or 2 of those along the way.
I don't know.
I've had
I've
a
heard
lot
of it, but I don't.
beers.
Yeah.
It's 1 barrel worthy.
Yeah,
We'll give it a shot.
At least.
That's right.
For now.
For now. That's
Steph,
it.
now
See
that
how it
you're
goes.
back from
welcome
selling
back to the
shirts,
show,
thank you
Steph.
for doing
Son
that.
of a bitch. We need an intern.
Well, we have him. He's just pouring for them.
Yeah, where the fuck did Rich go?
He's pouring Twisted Vine beer right now.
Oh, that's right.
Beer.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay then. That's
Well,
okay.
he's only got 1 beer to pour, so that's all we have left.
That's, yeah,
He
it
has
makes it
an
easy for him.
I guess he can
job.
handle that.
Yeah,
then, huh?
we usually let Rich. If we have guests on that don't have someone else to pour, we'll let Rich pour. We did an event a couple weeks ago where they were actually selling beer. Like it wasn't just a fest where they were pouring samples.
Yeah.
And like we let Rich pour for somebody. We were like, I don't know if we trust him to actually sell beer.
He's not good with numbers.
Yeah.
Sell it for whatever he
I
thinks it's
balanced
worth.
the check.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you only got $4. That's fine.
Yeah, whatever. That's good. It's fine. It's all good.
It's not a great way to run a business, but I guess it has its perks.
No.
Right, exactly.
He's fine.
Well, speaking of Rich, we should probably get him off of your
Yes,
jockey
get you
box.
guys
Hey,
back
thanks for
to
having
your-
us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
much
you so much.
appreciated, guys.
Yeah, it was great to meet you guys. We'll exchange information. Hopefully, we can come out and do like a full podcast.
Yeah,
at your brewery.
that'd be cool.
That'd be
That'd be
really
fantastic.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to do something like that. So, yeah, definitely. Cheers, guys.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Cheers.
guys.
Enjoy the
Appreciate it.
The event is just about done. A little over a
Winding-
half hour left. Winding down.
A half hour.
Half hour.
You become
A half
Canadian,
hour.
Canadian all of a sudden.
I'm getting ready. I have to prepare.
Yeah,
I'm less than
There's
2 months.
a Buddha half hour lift, eh?
A Buddha half hour. But about a half hour left.
I
in
apologize
the
to our
event.
friends to the north.
I don't. No, I do. Your country is beautiful, and I love it. But we could not end the event without having our new friend Tim from Cox Brewing on. Tim, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Thanks for coming up to the table. We stopped by and we're talking to you for a little bit before the event started, and you had something that I have never seen before. You have beer pouring out of your motorcycle. You had 2 taps on there.
Yeah.
Why? How? When did you think of that? How did that come into being? It's cool. I love it.
Yeah, years ago I had the idea, but I never had a bike that I could actually modify to do it. Recently, about 3 years ago, finally got a bike that I could build it on, and I can run growlers out of it, or I can tap straight off a keg, and it basically works as a jockey box.
That's so
That's pretty cool. Yeah, we walked by and I saw, it's a Harley Davidson. And I saw it there, and I thought, Cox Brewing, Harley Davidson. All right, cool. That makes sense. It's a good thing. And then we were talking to you for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, and I'm sorry, I forgot her name. Lindsay went over and started and there were tap handles in the back of it. I was like, holy shit, there's beer coming out of this thing. That's so freaking cool. So does it just the lines that run through it, and then the kegs are
for today, for a big event where we're pouring a lot of beer, I'll hook it straight up to a keg.
Right.
I'll take, basically I have a bag cooler that'll fit inside the saddlebag, and I run beer lines and ice, and kind of works like a coil.
I was gonna say saddlebag, but I wasn't sure that was the right term. I'm glad I was right. That's cool. I do want to say we, Steph and I visited your brewery, I think shortly after you guys opened.
Right.
You were just in a little garage space in an industrial park.
Yep.
We stopped by. We were doing a brewery day, just checking places out. Really impressed. Really like the vibe. Really like the beers. You guys still there? Have you expanded? What's going on since then?
We're currently still there.
Okay.
We've actually taken the bay next door, and we're currently in construction over there now. We're actually going to be putting a 10-barrel system in over there.
Oh, cool.
To help increase our production. And then we're looking to open a tap room in Elizabethtown where we can be open longer hours and hopefully be connected to a place, the Pizza Town, that basically people can get food and stuff. So
very cool, very cool. I really like the vibe there. It felt like the kind of place where You had to know it was there, first of all. Like, you weren't just going to find it. You kind of had to know to go there. And it kind of had this vibe where, like, you go there for the beer. It's like a restaurant. It wasn't like Jenga in the corner. Like, it was just people, like, trying the beers, talking about the beers, drinking the beers. A really cool spot. Really,
Exactly,
really
yeah.
chill vibe, yeah. I liked it. Very much enjoyed it.
So can we drink the beer?
Yeah, let's drink the beer. Let's drink the beer.
I say we start with the cream ale.
All right, let's start with the cream ale. So tell us a little bit about the cream ale.
Cream ale is a nice light ale. We use some corn in that, so you're going to get some corn flavor to it to help build up the body a little bit. But traditionally, just a nice, refreshing beer.
So at the end of every one of your beer names is X.
Those are our experimental batches.
Okay. So the 2 beers that we're having now are experimental batches, and that's why there's...
I'll be honest, I don't update the Untapped. I've found that people literally put in there anyway, so I just kind of let them handle it.
Let the public handle it.
Yeah.
So these started as experimental batches, and
yeah.
now they kind of just stopped. I
Right.
see. Very cool.
I like that cream ale. It's really good.
It's an easy drink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A hot day.
Yeah.
Something easy.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Did you say that I missed it? What's the ABV?
It was like 4.5.
Okay.
I think.
So not a whole lot. Nice and sessionable.
Yeah, that's
actually the 2 that we have. We had the big red one, but we kicked that one already. That one was like 7.5. These 2 are about 4.5. So I don't know.
Yeah, nice and easy going.
Yeah.
Light drinking for a nice day.
And now...
Yeah, what's the other
The
one?
motorcycle beer.
This is it. This is the one that came out of the
This is where you play Born to be Wild.
I don't have that one.
Oh, I love a good Weizenbach.
Also, there's no Wi-Fi, so I can't pull it up on the iPad.
That's fair.
What is the motorcycle one? What kind?
It's a Weizenbach.
That's right.
Ooh, I like that.
It's quite delicious.
Yeah, you're going to get a variety of different flavors through that beer. I mean, you're basically mixing multiple styles of beer to make that beer. So
maltiness, nice like dark fruit, stone fruit character. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That's nice. Yeah. That's a beer that should be coming out of a back of a Harley.
Well, we usually like to have the dark beers come out of the bike just because we joke about oil or something.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Everybody says Harleys leak, so
no.
So, I mentioned earlier that Steph and I visited your place a while ago. It feels like it was forever ago. How long have you guys been open now?
It's been 4 years.
Wow.
So,
and we were there.
You were there almost right at the beginning.
I was going to say,
I think we only had like 4 or 5 beers on tap when you guys were there.
Wow, that was that was a
one
long
of them
time
was
ago.
the Roush.
Yeah.
And,
That's right.
yes.
Yeah, I remember now. Yep.
That's
I think
become our seasonal beer for. We're right next to the butcher shop right there. The Bears Deer Processing. So every year we do a Deers for Beers thing.
Deers for Beers.
Basically, the biggest buck wins himself some beer, and we bring the Roush out for that.
I think we talked about that when we were there.
Yeah.
I remember. That sounds familiar. Yeah. That's so cool. I also know you guys, there was a big military connection. You guys had a lot of connection with like veteran.
Yeah, actually, my partner's still actually active.
Okay.
He's full-time up at Fort Indian Town Gap.
Okay.
He's actually on his annual training right now, so he's gone for actually a month.
Okay.
I'm former Air Force, and both
Very
our
cool.
families have deep history.
And you guys were involved in the breweries in PA, the PA Vets beer recently.
The Hurry Up and Wait.
Hurry Up and Wait.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah. We're friends with those guys, Chad and oh my God, Matt.
Yep. Yes.
I almost forgot his name.
Yeah.
Really cool that the guys were doing that, and it's kind of funny because like. When they first started talking about doing that beer and like the veteran connection, I thought of Tattered Flag. I remember thinking about you guys. A lot of veterans in Pennsylvania.
I was surprised. I mean, there's over 20 breweries across the state that got involved, and everybody met at Newfangled, and it was great meeting people all across the state, and it's a great opportunity to get money where it needs to go.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So.
Well, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely, and a really cool project to be a part of. But yeah, I for some reason that always stuck out to me, and I thought of you, and I thought Tattered Flag were like the first few things to get in my mind when they announced that beer.
What was the big red one? Was that what kind of beer was that?
The big red one is a basically an imperial amber ale.
Okay, that
he
makes
wants
sense.
what he can't have.
No, I'm just curious. I saw it earlier, and I forgot to ask what kind of beer it was. But
yeah, the name was actually. One of our customers actually came up with the name because his father actually served in the 1st Infantry Division and their patch is literally a green patch with a big red 1 on it.
Oh wow!
And at
cool.
the time, it was basically, I think, Imperial Red X, I think was what it was listed as, and we didn't have a name for it. And he's like, "You need to name one after the big red 1." And I'm
There
like,
it is.
"Well, that's what it is. It's a big red 1."
that's awesome.
I was thinking the big red one, not the big red one.
Same here.
Yeah.
I figured if it was, especially if it was an amber, like that's red-ish.
Oh,
yeah.
it's the big red one.
Yeah.
Not the big red one.
Oh, that's really cool. So the military ties go even deeper then. That's great.
That's awesome.
Well, Tim, it was so great to have you on the podcast finally. I really feel like we need to do a Cox episode. I've said this to everyone we've had on
I'd love
today.
to have you guys out.
And that's true. It's, I mean, you guys, I haven't been to the brewery. I think this might have been, one, if not the first, one of the first times I've had your beers. They're fantastic.
That was a highlight. I remember we went to a bunch of breweries that day, but you guys were definitely a highlight that day.
Yeah, we definitely love to have you guys out. So.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome.
Yeah, we should make that happen.
Super cool.
Cool. Tim, thank you so much, man.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
It's always fun at the Ephrata Brewfest.
It is always fun at the Ephrata
Fourth
Brewfest.
one. Is that what we landed on earlier?
Good for
Fourth?
them.
Yeah, this is great.
They're a good group of people, and it's always well put on. And I have to say, I was a little hesitant when he told us that there were 700 people that were going to be here.
It does not feel like that. I said to Wayne while we were finding the porta potties, it does not feel like there were 700 people here. It's kind of crazy.
There's no crazy lines.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good time.
There's a very big crowd towards the back of the fest, which I feel like in past years that area has been a little more sparse, and I feel like more people have made their way back there. When you get back there, you start to see the crowd, and but yeah, it's not super crowded, super crazy.
If you were not at this Ephrata Brewfest, you missed out on a good time. That means you got to show up next year. If you've not been to any of them so far, you have really done yourself a disservice. It is a wonderful fest put on by wonderful people. Great beer. It's always a good time. Good food. Good music. Cheers to the Lowercase Blues. They have been on pretty much the entire time. They took a little break here and there, but they deserved it.
Pretty chill. Good summertime vibe music going on. Yeah.
And if you want to see what you may have missed or relive the day if you were here, remember, follow us at BeerBusters, Twitter and Instagram, BeerBusters Podcast on Facebook. There's also BeerBustersPodcast.com. And Patreon.com/BeerBusters is where you can get yourself access to Last Call. We've got some choice brews that we have lined up for Last Call for this time around.
We're gonna try some extra beers.
Yeah.
Chat about them a little bit. But 6/20/20.
Yes, that is when the next Ephrata Brewfest is.
6/20/20.
6/20/2020.
No.
Next year.
That's too many 20s.
June 20th, 2020.
6/20.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing
6/20/2020.
All right.
That's just the right amount of 20s.
Just the right amount of 20s.
Just the right amount of 20s. That should be the name of this episode next year.
Yes,
next year.
The right amount of 20s. And then the year after that, where are we going to go now that our 20s are over?
Boo, but the 20s aren't over.
2021. Oh, God, I don't want to think about that.
Nope, me neither.
Ephrata Brewfest, it's been amazing.
Yes, definitely.
You want to hear a couple extra minutes of us talking about shit here at the festival? Sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/beerbusters.
Yep.
Check out Last Call.
Yes. Yes.
So glad we got to record here this year.
Yeah, me too. It was really cool. Nice spin on it.
Yeah, very nice.
Unfortunately, this brings us to the end of another episode of Beer Busters. I had to find the right button on there because I haven't used the thing today at all. Well, it was great. Seriously, show up to the 2020, 6/20/2020. They should hashtag that on a shirt. 6/20/2020
special edition t-shirt.
Yes. Well, hey, my name is Dan Baker. I am joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and of course the demented and fermented
Wayne Baker.
You got to come to the Ephrata Brewfest, dude, or dudette, or person, people, you listening to this right now. Show up next year. Remember, no squids were harmed in the making of this episode, and we'll see you next time.
Wait, you didn't have us say our names.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, we just did.
Wow.
It just happened.
I'm literally losing my mind. I'm
Speaking
literally
of working
losing
with
my
tight
mind.
spaces.